Yo, yo, yo. Turkey Tuesday, Thanksgiving, a pretty good slate of games. We've got Jeremy in a new location. This is Thanksgiving based, correct?
Yes, this is the in-laws. This is my mother-in-law's office, but that doesn't stop us from bringing high-quality dynasty takes.
Let's
Well, you're
go.
probably munching on some turkey. We already got leftovers. It's not even Wednesday.
We're pre-gaming Thanksgiving now, and it's a good slate. I'm thinking back to last year when the Black Friday game, or maybe it was 2 years ago. I think it was 2 years ago where it was like Jets Dolphins, and it
It
was
was
like
Jets,
Tim
Dolphins,
Boyle.
and who was
I think
the
it was
Jets
Houston.
guy?
Wasn't it Boyle? Boyle was the QB.
It was Boyle, but then Boyle went down. And it was like some
Oh,
tall dude
jeez.
that ran and like clutched it out, and everyone was like, "Oh, is this guy something?" But it's like some obscure name.
I think there's better time spent for us kicking off the stream
No,
versus
we
remembering
have to
the.
go down that that rabbit
Ooh,
hole.
we weren't sure how many people were going to be in here, and I felt for you, Jeremy, and for you, Jake, watching that game Monday night. I talked about it the week before, where like Bryce Young kind of does this tricks you a little bit, but I don't know. It was pretty rough. Anyway, it was rough all around, man. Like they weren't using Rico a ton. McMillan had a couple
But
big drops.
this is the thing. It's like I was talking to some of my Panthers friends. Shouts to my brother, but he kept saying believe in Bryce Young, and I'm like I'm over him. Like Bryce Young, the script is written about Panthers Bryce Young. Sure, if he goes to McVay, maybe McVay fixes him, but Panthers Bryce Young is done. But I was also
Eh,
sitting there and I'm like, Canales' play calling was absolute ass. It wasn't like we're down
yeah,
40. It wasn't like we had to run the ball or throw the ball. I'm like,
yeah.
we are one of the best run teams. We have two decent running backs. How do you even with the game in reach for 3.5 quarters, how are you not just running the ball? Like run, pass. I hate saying that for most offenses, but this is an offense that should be run, pass. Above average offensive line, above average run game. Like you need to lean on that. The fact that Rico had like 7 carries or something and Chuba had 3, it's like the biggest sin of all, interception, momentum swing. It was like first and goal on the 2 or whatever.
Oh
And they're
my
like, you know what we should
gosh,
do?
yeah.
Bryce Young throws
That
into
was
triple coverage,
crazy.
interception back. And I'm like, why? Like, if it was third down or fourth down, sure.
Mm,
But we don't even run it once. I mean, come on.
yeah, that was
Like, what are we
crazy.
doing? We
I
have our own little Marshawn Lynch back there. Like, let him run. Why are we throwing it first and goal? We
Oh, it was
suck at
so
throwing.
bad.
It
I just had a
it was
feeling too
atrocious from
when
top to bottom.
he was scampering over there, rolling out to the right side. I was just like, oh, this is. Well, this isn't a touchdown,
I thought he
regardless.
had it. He had it if he ran.
And
Like if he
then
just ran and dove up.
that, and then anytime, usually it's like the way I think of is when a non-quarterback player takes too long on the trick play to make a throw. Like
Yeah.
that's kind of what Bryce Young did there, where it was not a trick play and just
Yeah, so there's certainly the Bryce Young is the problem. Yes, it's definitely the guy in the hot dog suit saying who could have done this.
what's the
Yes, Bryce
solution
Young
though?
is the problem.
The record's too good this year. You guys won too many
Canales is
games.
also an issue. Canales' play calling is inconsistent.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes he calls good plays. Sometimes it is like, why aren't we running the ball at all? Like it's not. If we had Joe Burrow back there and we're like, well, we live or die by Joe Burrow throwing it. I get it. But it's Bryce freaking Young. Bryce Young is one of the worst quarterbacks statistically. Every metric you can look at, he's one of the worst. And somehow you still decide to lean on throwing the ball. Does not make sense. And that was a game that was winnable. Right? There's not many winnable types of games where the Panthers are playing a team that has a winning record. But the fact that they turned the ball over like 4 times and you got 3 points out of it, like come on, man. Like that's coaching just as much as it is Bryce Young there. Not saying I believe in Bryce Young, but I mean, like you said, like we've won 6 games. So we maybe will win 7. It's hard for me to see an easy out. Like I was like, do we bring in like a Tyrod type and just have like the backup platoon? I do think like a Geno is potentially available. Canales did work with Geno back in Seattle. Not saying that's an amazing situation, but like you can get
Yeah.
Geno for cheap. I think really what we need is Canales gets a year where he picks his quarterback, whether it's going for the big ones of like a Kyler, maybe a T Law or a Tua or someone like that, or saying, hey, let me just take Geno and we'll run with Geno and Bryce Young on his last year and figure that out. But yeah, I mean, I don't want to write off Canales because obviously the Panthers have a history of flipping guys, so quick. But there's just games like that. It's just inconsistent quality of play calling sometimes.
I'm going to do you and the viewer a favor, and we are going to transition away from the Panthers and not even to the Lions. Monster win in OT, barely beating the Giants. That game was insane. I was
about to say you're about to be in the sad chair,
dude. That
right
was
there.
At home to the Giants, barely winning. I mean, dude, it's kind of tough because I want to give credit to the Giants. I feel like the home team thing is to just talk down your own team and not give credit where it was due. But man, Jameis balls, man. You give him a chance. Jameis wide receiver. Yards per route run leader in the NFL.
The Winston, the stiff arm.
Dude, I was in. It pains me so much that it was me watching my Lions, watching that happen, because it was any 30 other teams that could have happened to, it would have been like my highlight of the week. And it's, I think winning the game,
eating popcorn and laughing with your mouth open.
Yeah. Winning the game is the only thing that saved it. I can rewatch that clip knowing we ended up squeaking out the win off the back of Jahmyr Gibbs, best running back in the NFL.
I was about to say, if y'all lost that game, you'd be sitting at the same record as the Panthers, and we'd be having
dude, this is like a playoff game. This Packers game. This is this is huge implications for the division. For honestly all these games. This is a pretty sick slate. I'm sure at least one or two will be super disappointing. Joe Burrow's terrible first game back. Our offensive line is still bad. But
at least you get Burrow back, though. That's at least exciting to have Burrow back.
Yeah, Joe Flacco came back down to the earth. All the 4/3 swaps we'll send out for Joe Flacco I'm feeling the weight of it now.
Here's the thing.
I got a couple wins, though.
Here's the thing. Next year, he's going to do the exact same thing. He's done it for 3 years in a row.
Maybe for the Panthers.
He's like Jameis Winston. He's one that you want to just always have because he'll find his way on the roster. He'll find his way to play, and he'll drop a couple 30 bombs. And you're like, oh, cool. I got that for free, basically.
I think this is, and I want to get into actual questions, but I think this is the fascinating, especially with how this season has gone. I think this is the fascinating questions for how we build our rosters on our dynasty teams, dynasty superflex teams, and especially in startup drafts where, I know we were targeting the 5th round in startup drafts and talking about the QBs that you can hit on there for your QB2. So it was if you can hit, obviously, your Josh Allen, Lamar, Shaden Daniels, Drake May at this point at the start of the 1st round. And then, you're able to hit whatever positional players, hit some wide receivers. And then that 5th round, guys like Purdy are there, and sneaking into the 6th, you got Trevor Lawrence. It felt like Goff, Dak Prescott. And I wonder if, the move is actually yes, you can invest in difference-making quarterback, but tell you what, man, teams out of the startup drafts that started with Gibbs and, Trey McBride or 2 smash JSN and Bijan or something are smashing and starting whatever. Give me Joe Flacco and Tyrod Taylor. All right, let's get Mariota in there.
Davis Mills.
And it's probably tough to do because I think the worst place you can find yourself in Dynasty Superflex is you're really hurting at the QB spot. But man, I've as many, Joe Flacco's and Mac Jones as I've bought, I've also sold. There's just been so many starting QBs that the 18-point projection you get from Mac Jones, not that much different from the 19-point projection you get from Trevor Lawrence, if those numbers are even accurate based off of how this year's gone.
Yeah, and I think too, if you have obviously the elite guys you're going to take, right? The Drake Mays, the Josh Allens, yeah. I do think I may just get crazy with it and just be I'm not going to really touch any of these 5th or 6th round quarterbacks at all.
It's the fake elite guys that hurt you.
A Brock Purdy, if I'm taking Cam Ward at value or the equivalent of that, it's why don't I just wait and take a Stafford or a Dak or whoever quarterback they don't like that I know is going to get some. Kyler's going to be super late again. I'm going to bite at that apple again. Just take one of those guys in the 11th or whatever, and then just load up on Tyrod and Davis Mills and Joe Flacco, and even if you miss, even if all the guys you're stashing miss, if your league is active, and that's the big question, is if your league is active and you know you can just go out and sell a fourth for a spot start at the quarterback position, then you're going to do that. Like, and that's something I noticed too. Like, it's harder to say, hey, can I go buy your Jared Goff? Can I go buy your Sam Darnold? Like,
Yep.
people are like, no, I feel better about that.
You got the contracts.
If I have Tyrod Taylor and I'm not starting Tyrod Taylor, if someone comes to me and is like, hey, here's a fourth or a third for Tyrod, I'm probably just going to take it because I'm just like, well, I don't need him. I don't need him. I can get free value. Those are players that are always available. And if I'm going to just say, cool, I'll live and die by that, there's always one or two of those guys that go on forever. I mean, we saw Carson Wentz play half the season, and now we're going to see Tyrod Taylor play half the season. And you can get that spot on your roster basically locked down for a third, 2/4, like super cheap value versus taking a top 10, startup draft pick on that type of player. And like you said, I mean, Jonathan Taylor was falling to the thirds, the fourths, and those startup drafts. And people are taking Cam Ward and other, quarterbacks and players like that when you could get elite difference-making production at a position that actually matters.
Yeah.
Because once Jonathan Taylor starts smashing, no one's like, oh man, like I'm going to move him. Like it's those running backs, even like a Sean Tucker, if you're getting those weeks that matter, like those aren't players that you're like actively trying to move.
Yeah. And hands up, I mean, I obviously there were some injuries for some of these running backs, but my big strategy in startups was like, I'll do this QB first round, QB fifth round, and hitting, receivers in between, because I know I can get James Conner, I can get Alvin Kamara, I can get Aaron Jones, I can get Joe Mixon late in drafts. And it's a year-to-year game, like there's injuries, weird situations, like stuff gets skewed and out of proportion, and people apply it to the next year. But I do think this QB thing is just something that is standard. We always have 40, 50 plus QBs that make starts in the NFL. It isn't just 32. It's a lot more than that. 40 was a bad number. It's way
like
more.
70 or something.
So like,
I think too, another thing is the NFL rules have changed on top of, so like a couple years ago when I first really started getting into Dynasty, it was like, you want to lock in those two top 10 quarterbacks. It's worth paying an arm and leg for because they have such a leg up over everyone else. Now what we see is, the past couple of years, we see the two high safeties and starting to take away a lot of those deep shots at the passing game. So running backs have been elevated a little. Then add in this year with the new kickoff rules and the juiced torpedo balls or whatever we call them, where now every kicker can kick like a 60-something yard field goal. So we're seeing less touchdowns, less need for them to be aggressive in the 40s or, in the 40-ish range on the field, because they're like, we can just kick a field goal instead of having to really worry about the distance of a field goal and taking the risky play of throwing the ball down the field, going for fourth downs, just taking the given points. So I do think that's something too, is we're seeing these quarterback scoring, especially in the middle class quarterbacks, isn't as special because quarterbacks aren't asked to do as much outside of the elite guys, where you just they're like, hey, Josh Allen, the best thing we got is Josh Palmer. You got to figure it out because we can't give you a decent wide receiver.
Mm-hmm. All right. I love the dynasty theory, and this will be, we'll be cranking out the content. I don't even want to think about after the NFL season, being in the midst, heading into trying to get the bye week for the playoffs, heading into Thanksgiving slate of games. But I think we'll have a lot of good theory combos as always. But let's hit questions. What's up? Rocky Top just moved a projected 203 and 302 for Michael Wilson and something between 204 and 206. So basically, you're moving back 1 to 3 spots in the second to get Michael Wilson for the 302. 12-team start 10. Just wanted to add depth in case London misses more time than I think he might. Yeah, I think it'll be fascinating to see what this offense looks like with MHJ back. But man, you got to give credit to Michael Wilson. I mean, not like the craziest athletic guy, but I mean, good possession receiver, can get open in zones. And if they're going to let Jacoby Brissett whip that thing around, 40, 50 times a game, I think Michael Wilson kind of falls. Legend. Yeah, I think he falls in that range of like, I'd be willing to take a shot for a third. I think he's the kind of guy that you probably couldn't pry off of a lot of teams just based off how these last 2 weeks have been. And like the impending, I don't know, do you think people have like a positive outlook for Trey McBride, MHJ, and this Cardinals team like post Kyler. I know it's kind of a weird situation to have like the bridge quarterback feel like it's usually when the starter gets hurt. We don't have these situations where it's like the Flacco, the Brissetts that are like this awesome passing offense, or like Jameis Winston's in there for a little bit. But do you think there's like some hope that Michael Wilson could be like a Rashid Shaheed type, can give you weeks, and you'll want to start him and are willing to buy for thirds?
I mean, I think this is a good value for like, okay, I need to have some depth, right? I have London, trading what is the equivalent of a third. For Michael Wilson's good. I mean, he kind of has the issue too of what happens when Marvin Harrison Jr.'s back. Will that eat into his workload? It probably will. But what impact does that have? Long term, yeah. I mean, it's hard to really project because it's like, okay, are they going to keep Gannon? Are they going to clean house? Are they going to get rid of Kyler? Definitely looks like they're getting rid of Kyler, but it's like, who are they going to replace him with? Not a ton of options here. Do they swap him with T-Law or do something weird? Swap him with Tua, or like, how does that look? There's so many different ways that could play out. It's hard to really plan for that. That being said, if I'm trading a third for a win now, not completely washed wide receiver, it's hard to say no to that if I need the depth.
Yeah, and especially the timing too. Like, worst case scenario, you burned a third, and the Michael Wilson experience was insert remember that guy for the 2-week stretch. But he's like, the thing is, he's always made plays, so I think he's gonna fall in this range of like, he's a roster clogger on shallow benches. But based off the last 2 weeks,
he's a Darnold Mooney.
Yeah, he's got upside for more. I mean, he's made plays, and two, I think the biggest point is what you're using him for, like spending that third this way. Like, we're not having a would you buy this guy for a second debate and doing this like big future outlook because of the value of a second. Like, I think a 12-team start 10, I'm fine making these bets for a third.
Yeah, if you get one meaningful week, it's a win.
Subtitle Chip, good evening, gents. I'm making chili. Let's go. Are you
nice.
I'm more of a white chili. We make my girl makes this white chicken chili pretty good. Shout out to Olivia. How we feeling as Ricky Pearsall owners? Ride it out, or is it never gonna happen? Feels like the sample size is still small, but man, it's almost his third season. Start of the season was pretty nice for the Rickster. This was a pretty weird game overall. I think I'm a little bit more hopeful on Ricky Pearsall. I actually bought him on a tanking team for Alec Pierce and a second, which I think you could argue is a little rich to pay that price. But I was willing to make that bet. I don't have a lot of Ricky, and honestly, it was I have a ton of picks, and I'm gonna need to be making some cuts. You ever have those like tanking leagues where like you found your way into like, I have 4 firsts in this league.
Yeah, like 10
I have
third round picks.
I have three additional thirds. I've got, I think, 4 additional seconds, and it's like, that's sick. And then you look at my bench, and it's like, I've actually done a pretty good job at like filling out this bench with interesting players. It's like the Michael Mayer types where it's like, I don't want to cut this guy. So
yeah,
I had to make some of those moves, somewhat like shallow-ish consolidation moves. I might do a similar type of thing of buying like, maybe not Dobbins specifically, but those types of running backs for like seconds or thirds that, people are a lot more excited about a rookie pick than, a vet that was hurt or something, just to kind of fill out the team for the future. But with that being said, to answer the question and stop talking about my own team, I've got hope for Ricky. I think the Ricky thing is like, might be never going to happen as like he's the next Debo type thing. Then I think we've seen like little glimpses and flashes of him getting the fun touches. But I mean, San Francisco offense, wide receiver, especially with this on the back of this Ayuk news, I'm down to hold out hope.
News will keep them hyped. I mean, and Purdy was looking like trash too, so we got to fix whatever's going on with Purdy.
So it's turf toe.
But yeah, I mean, I'm not out on him, but to me, it's kind of like a Josh Downs situation of like, there's going to be people that believe in him, and I'd probably just sell on that price because there's probably a lot cheaper options out there that will give me similar-ish production, and I don't have to overinvest in a player that, like, do I think Ricky Pearsall will ever get back into like the Roma Dunze tier of guys? Probably not. So if that's where I'm leaning, then if I can get the value that he has on Dynasty Daddy or KeepTradeCut, then I'm feeling confident that that's what I'm doing. Otherwise, like I do think he does have a decent chance to carve out some sort of role and be a decent contributor, but he still has that dynasty value. So if I can get someone to bite on the dynasty value, maybe I circle back on him in a year or two when everyone's like, okay, what is he doing for me now? Kind of
Yeah.
like the Debo thing, where Debo was hyped, then he wasn't, and then he had a couple amazing years, and the time to buy him was when everyone was like, yeah, he's injury prone, no one wants him, and you were able to get good years out of him.
What is up, Christopher? This is an interesting Ricky Pearsall for points now trade. Ricky, Woody Marks, and Emmanuel Wilson for Travis Etienne. We did get to see, and maybe it was somewhat injury related but the Tutin breakout did not come to fruition based off of what the usage looked like in the previous game. It was still Etienne's backfield. I don't hate this one. It's tough because I don't want to like blindly get excited about the Woody Marks role in the context of shoving that into my lineup, but part of me thinks that it might be close enough to the ETN projection that I'm willing to just say F it. Let me make 2 player bets plus high value handcuff for a running back that's currently hurt. So I don't hate the move. I feel like I would have liked it better if it was a running back I liked more than ETN, but that might just be my own bias.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking like if it was like a Josh Jacobs tier guy, like someone where it's like, oh, if he is playing, he's going to crush.
Yeah.
I don't know if a Travis Etienne is someone that I feel like I'm going to start him and he's going to give me.
Would you do it for Javonte?
Amazing production. I probably feel more confident in Javonte. Like Javonte, maybe like Kyron, like someone that's like, yes. To me, like Etienne like has there's weird game scripts where Tutin takes some work or they just don't run the ball or the team stinks. Like at that point, I'm like, wait, is like you said, isn't that similar to Woody Marks? And I also get the bet of what if Pearsall turns out, or I can use him elsewhere. And Emmanuel Wilson, don't know how the Josh Jacobs thing plays out. Emmanuel Wilson looked pretty solid last week. So that being said, Christopher, your team's a super team, so I can't, maybe you know something that we don't.
And the classic Christopher line, I have no picks with 6 exclamation points. This is the team: Josh Allen, Genty, Javonte, Willie, JSN, Drake, Rome, Grease, Javonte, Trey McDonald's, really. Travis Etienne, Jalen Warren. 11-1, first in points 4, second in points against. We're pushing. So you have Genty, Javonte, and Jalen Warren. Did you need to do this trade? I guess my only question. I guess you do have JSN, Drake, London, Rome.
Is Etienne even? I guess Etienne over Warren.
Yeah. I mean, I would feel that way. I guess if it's a deep enough league where you're starting all these running backs, and you just like instead of Woody Marks, you feel so much better about. But I'm not gonna talk back to the oracle that is Christopher.
I have no picks.
I love the sleeper trade has been complete notification. I do too. Honestly, I need to get back in the game. I've been on a little trade hiatus. I've been sending out some offers, not getting responses back. It's getting me sad in my leagues where I need to make a move. So I'm gonna hit the trades this week. Got one league where I only had Nick.
I'll shoot you some Travis Hunter.
Dude, I could talk myself into buying Tyrone Tracy. Why don't you send me a Tyrone Tracy trade in Alpha Daddy? That's what the people want to see. Yeah, I think you still have Tracy. I wish you was. I will
Jacobs, say, Will. Here's a little pull the curtain behind the scenes. Will was like, I had an idea for a video. Like we had the cool video that went up, which you should definitely watch. But Will was like, before he was like, I was thinking maybe we just talk through a Tyrone Tracy to my team trade because I want Tyrone Tracy. And I'm like, I don't know don't know how well that would go over with the people.
What happened was I was like, it'd be so cool to do a live. We're negotiating a real life trade that like we would actually be doing. It isn't just for the video because Jeremy is kind of tanking in this league. And I'm like kind of on the edge and need to make a move or two to like really have a decent enough team to make a playoff push. And I was looking at his roster and I was like, man, the only thing that makes sense is Tyrone Tracy. And I don't know if I have the heart or the willpower to record and edit a 10-minute video on me trying to acquire Tyrone Tracy and trying to pay as least as possible. So we'll do that off stream.
The amount of Tyrone Tracy's like panning pictures that you have to throw in.
I don't love the rule. I'd have to get Singletary in there. I'd probably have to get Dayball in there, even though he's fired. Yeah, it'd be rough. Fantastic video idea. I appreciate it. Do you guys ever do the Travis Hunter trade?
I like that format.
No, I did have to put Travis Hunter on the block in the Charlie Daddy Best Ball League, where I traded away my first, where he got out for the season. No biters. A lot of people nervous about that old
Charlie
Travis Hunter.
Daddy needs attention from me.
I got to stop bringing up Charlie Daddy because I need you to not pay attention to that league. I need you to just coast with your first place. I'm on the outside looking in. I'm the 7th seed right now. I had to make a move, or I gotta just pray for the best. I think that's where we're at. Let me know, guys. Good evening, gents. What's up, William? Traded the 26-103, a third, and Adonai Mitchell for a 27 early first and Michael Pittman. I'm currently in first in the league. Thoughts? Yeah, I like that, especially if you're confident. I mean, it's hard to do the 2027 projection, so I think the crux of how we feel about the trade is probably based on your confidence in that being an early 27 first. Because I always think like when it's the next year, it isn't just the obvious, I see the record. Like, obviously, that's a huge a part of knowing where the pick is going to be. But to me, when I don't have my first 2 years out, I am like that much more locked in to one, getting it back.
Like willing to sell 28, willing to
or
make
two,
those aggressive moves.
Going the other way, just knowing you don't have your own pick in that year. But if you're confident, and I'm going to take the message for what it's worth, W trade. Jeremy,
I do like it a lot. Assuming it isn't early, even if it's like a 104 or something.
Yeah.
That's going to be a way more exciting pick. Not saying that this 103 could be Lemon or Tate or whoever that we like.
I'm going to like the 103.
Be a valuable player.
Yeah.
But you're saying the upgrade from Adonai Mitchell to Michael Pittman is huge, especially if you're trying to win now. And then you get a 27 pick that is already more hyped than 26. And that's just going to keep growing, right?
Yeah.
Even if it's just a shot, if it's just a shot at Jeremiah Smith or Cam Coleman or whoever you want, that is probably worth it.
And if, I'm really curious to see what things are going to look like in season next year. Like once the 2026 rookie drafts are all done and 27 picks are the next picks on the docket, especially for these first that are going to be early, like what that ticket price is and how you can use that next year in your leagues. So definitely
once you have Jeremiah Smith, the deals that people are going to send for that pick are going to be ridiculous.
I wonder what the landing spot. Oh man, am I doing 2027 and wide receiver landing spots right now in my mind? Probably need to
next video.
Yeah, that'll be the next one. All right, this is a good question. What do you think about using a 26 late first plus a Dude's Air shaded tier up, maybe JSN? I would love.
Oh, in a heartbeat for JSN.
I'm trading JJ. I am literally gonna go to both of my Justin Jefferson leagues and see if I could do Justin Jefferson straight up for JSN and what I would have to add on to make that happen. And maybe it's Max Brosmer week and Kevin O'Connell gets to have his QB play the way he wants him to play, and the 9 era is over already. But it's hard, man. These QB breakups, I'm scared. JJM or Cam Ward? I'm leaning Cam Ward, especially after the Slack week. Cam was running. Shout out to Coach Speak Index. There was some buzz about that getting increased a little bit. Yeah. Are you Cam Ward as well?
Which one are we looking at?
Sorry, JJ McCarthy or Cam Ward?
Oh, all the way down here, yeah. I like Cam Ward more. I think he's working with less, and I've seen him make throws where I'm like, ooh, like this
NFL
isn't
quarterback.
the best analysis in the world, right? Yeah, but it's like watching Caleb Williams, right? Whereas like he stinks. It's my Caleb Williams versus Bryce Young takes. I rarely see Bryce Young do something and I'm like, that is something special. Like it's usually just like, dear God, don't mess up. But Caleb Williams will do idiotic things, but he will make a play every game or so, and you're like, oh, that's really special. Like that is something that is really cool. And if you can make that, bring that out and keep the bad away, that's going to be a above average franchise quarterback. And that's something with Cam Ward. I see him. I think he's got a good leader, being like, hey, we need to change this around. We're a bunch of losers, type of stuff. And it also be, some of the throws he's making are very good throws. It's just like, can that organization build around him? I think JJ McCarthy has a bigger hurdle to overcome because the time frame of the Minnesota Vikings, what they just gave up in Darnold, what they just accomplished with Darnold, with basically the same roster. And it's like, come on, man. Like, you have, a top 10 tight end. You have 2 amazing wide receivers. You have an amazing play caller. You have an amazing defense. Like, you should be doing better than what you're doing. And the fact that it's not working is a little bit concerning.
Becca, shout out Becca, won the work league 6-6. Let's go. We were doing this last week, right? We're on the trajectory.
Yep, we're still in it. We're still in it.
And she likes to set up. Books in the background.
It's your mom's.
Got her. Your mom's. Just got offered. Dude, that's T-Mac now. He's earned it. A couple drops last night. All right, that's Tet and contenders 2027 first for Justin Jefferson, currently contending and clinched a first round bye. Loaded at receiver, currently with JJ being wide receiver 4 at this point. Do I make the move? That is interesting context, man. Because these kind of moves where, like, that is the kind of wide receiver room, without knowing any of the actual names, where getting an extra first. I mean, I'd be curious about the rest of the team.
How confident are you in that 27 first is like a late first? Like, is it like they're 5th in the playoffs? Because if they're 5th in the playoffs, they drop 2 spots, they're out of the playoffs, right? Like that can all of a sudden be a high end pick. It is crazy to be like, I don't think this is a terrible trade. I think Tet probably is better the rest of the season.
It has more to do with, honestly, it has more to do with T-Mac than necessarily like me hating Justin Jefferson and thinking like, oh, you got to get out. Because the tough thing is, like, yes, I think he will be better, or it's going to be very close rest of the season, but I think both of these guys are going to be like way higher valued than the production they're giving you for the rest of the season, for obvious reasons for both of them. But yeah.
I mean, like Tet's wide receiver 17 on Dynasty Daddy, below Pickens, Wilson, McConkey, Brian Thomas Jr. Like, I'm probably taking him over most of those guys. Maybe not Pickens in a if I care about this year, just because Pickens looks like a absolute wagon. But I think people crowned Egbuka really early on of like, this is the guy, this is the rookie wide receiver you want. Tet's right up there with him. And while he does have drops and his offense is less efficient, I don't hate the getting a first on top of him for JJ, who's been underwhelming. Not his fault. But.
I traded 3 firsts in Drake London for Justin Jefferson 2 years ago. 2? Yeah.
Those consolidation trades are hard to hit on.
It's 12 teams start 9. So it was the kind of league where I would do that. You
can live with it more, yeah.
Yeah, but dang. 8,000 on KTC is insane. The thing with the toughest thing for me with doing these, like, okay, so right now, the JJ trades I'm talking about are like, let me move Justin Jefferson. Like, what tiny thing can I add on to get to JSN? Or like, to get to other awesome dynasty receiver who's smashing?
Mm-hmm.
And usually it's going to have to be certain teams where it's like, this team would have never considered moving off of this type of piece, but because they're out of the playoffs, like, yeah, I can kind of eat the Justin Jefferson's going to, be disappointing for the rest of the season. The usage and the like target share stuff is like awesome. It is just the actual offense converting these targets to receptions that convert to fantasy points. That part of the equation is not hitting right now. Igbusta, I think the Bucs offense has just been kind of a whirlwind for the past couple seasons.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're banged up as well.
Bucky's coming back.
Like,
he'll fix it.
Out. Mike Evans, they haven't had a consistent offense for like back-to-back weeks. There's always one guy in or out. And then now you're looking at like Baker might be missing some time. It's kind of hard
non-throwing shoulder, but yeah, it's sketchy.
Yeah.
New DK is gonna ruin my job. Come here, DK. Dude, This cracks me up, especially when it's like special teams touchdowns that are like a big part of it. Bench is Worthy, Gadsden, handcuff running backs. Okay, if you're benching Worthy and Gadsden, I don't hate trying to upgrade the starting lineup by moving off of like Ricky Pearsall types. So it's more okay. I get it. I hear you. All right, Tato Man, say I have a later 26 first, like last 4 in the first. Would you recommend selling it now to try and secure the buy this year, or wait till draft season to maybe get a bit more because of the hype? It's a good question. I think the if you are confident that you are like improving one part of your starting lineup dramatically to give you a chance to get the buy, then I would probably lean towards that. But if it's like you're starting like if you have like Alec Pierce that you're starting and you're going to send a first for my go-tos are like way too expensive now. Like I can't say George Pickens anymore. Yeah,
who you sending him for? Chris Olave? That might be expensive.
Well, that's the thing. That's like the tough thing where it's like I would pay a first for, or at least
Alec
like
Pierce to Stephon Diggs isn't that big.
And that's kind of what I'm saying, where it's like if you're tacking a first or you're like using a first to upgrade something slightly, but if like you had,
it's probably at running back. Like Javonte, you could probably get for a first.
Yeah, like if you're
I feel like the running backs people will sell more.
Yeah, like if you were banking on like Kamara was like the RB2 or like these like Pollard disappointing types, and like sending the first to be able to lock in and start the Javonte usage, Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs types. I think I'm all for that. It's just like when it's like a minor upgrade and you're using a first to do that just because it's going to be late. I think that's when you can lose a lot of value for because like yes, people can hate the class all they want. There will be a handful of first round wide receivers. We'll probably get a first round running back, and there will be quarterbacks to go in the first round.
I think too, though, here's something is when people say a weak class, I do think a weak class impacts late first round picks the most. Because once you get to seconds and thirds and fourths, like they're all dart throws to begin with, right? I mean, we're just picking a handcuff running back because they're one injury away. That's going to be the same in 26, 27, 28. When it comes to weak draft classes, is can they fill out a whole first round of valuable picks? Is it a year where you're taking Brian Thomas Jr., even though he's been disappointing, but Brian Thomas Jr., Brock Bowers, are you taking them in the late first or the mid first? And I think 26 will be one where there are going to be guys who are like, oh, Jeremiah Love looks awesome. Mekhi Lemon is awesome. All these guys. But they ain't going to the late. So I think this is going to be one class that, especially if you're in this situation, you do find a deal where you're like, oh, this guy is willing to sell Josh Jacobs, for a first whatever plus something. Those are deals I'm more likely to take with this class just because I know the sentiment is not going to change very quickly because we're probably not going to have a ton of quarterbacks. At most, we're probably going to have 2 first-round quarterbacks. And even then, it's not like there's a can't-miss prospect. It's not like Arch Manning preseason hype is entering the class and everyone's like excited about that.
Yeah. Yeah, and this is referencing this current year's late first. Handful at late first year. Like if you look at the late first from this year, almost none of them have done much recently, like Golden. The tough thing though, and I mean, it's hard to do class to class, but like Golden is probably the one name that is like, but like the Judkins role right now, like, okay, Caleb Johnson, like Harvey.
I feel like Golden wasn't a first round pick though.
He was like 201.
Like, I feel like
probably,
people people took like Caleb Johnson over him, RJ Harvey over him.
I mean, Dart was a late first. Yeah.
I mean, I think the biggest whiffs are probably RJ Harvey, which hasn't looked terrible. Like he's had some good weeks, but consistently hasn't been amazing. Obviously, Caleb Johnson and Loveland is also kind of in that RJ Harvey tier of like he's shown flashes, but it's not consistent enough for me to just lock him in every week and not forget, not worry about it.
Yeah. Christopher's all in on Tez Johnson. This is a certified Christopher take incoming. Tez Johnson is the Marvin Jones of Alec Pierce's. Let me give you a different one. I'm going to go Tez Johnson is the DJ Chark of Deshaun Jackson's. There we go.
That's a pretty good one. That's
right,
a pretty good one.
Thank you.
He
Appreciate it.
kind of reminds me of like Tank Dell, where it's like
just small,
like small, speedy. Like he's a slower Tank Dell, but I do like his usage. Like he belongs on the field.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I think what was exciting about like being in on Tez is that the Godwin return, and Godwin was on a pitch count, but it looked like the snaps and routes he took was more from Shepard than it was from Tez Johnson, which you always want to see. Like that's great. Like these like Luther Burden, like all these rookie receivers that could easily just fall below 40% snap share, route share, like seeing them not lose that when veterans come back is always a boost. If I make the championship, I'm adding Jerome Ford to the roster out of pure respect. He started this. And shout out to man, we didn't talk anything about the Browns. I don't know how much time we want to spend on Shador. I think Shador, I'm just gonna do it quickly for us. Like yeah, it's time. We're gonna see probably the rest of the season Shador. I think unless we get like a terrible game, and then maybe they'll put in Dylan Gabriel or see how Deshaun Watson's doing.
I mean, I think this was our take to begin the season. Like they have all these guys, they got to see if they have anything.
Yeah,
and the team is going to be so bad that like they're going to start with Joe Flacco, and then they're going to be like, okay, well we need to start Dylan Gabriel, and then Dylan Gabriel is what he is, which is a backup quarterback at best. He was a journeyman in college. He's going to be a journeyman in the NFL if he makes it. And so then they go to Shador. Shador's going to have highs. He's also going to have lows. So it's going to be something of, can he, mitigate the lows and also have organizational buy-in? Because the issue is they're going to be bad, and they're going to be sitting there and be like, Mendoza, Dante Moore, like do you go for one of those guys?
Do you hear him talk about? I didn't see the actual clip, but I heard him say something about him referencing like it'll be really nice to have like a full off season or like something as the guy, which is we're counting some chickens. Like, the only reason I wanted to talk about Shador, honestly, was to talk about the mini Dylan Sampson. A lot of it was related to Quinshon getting hurt in that game. But we got some more Dylan Sampson usage. It sounds like the look like at the expense of Jerome Ford. Wanted to mention that, seeing the Jerome Ford name brought up. This was the this is what makes Will happy in the Browns backfield. I love the wildcat snaps for Quinshon. They just take Shador out of the game. And he just takes him
surprised the Dylan Sampson hasn't been more of a staple. Like I know Jerome Ford's the vet, but like early on, like when Judkins wasn't there, they were not only giving him usage, but they're giving him crazy usage.
Especially especially with them not using Quinshon a lot on like third down and obviously passing situations, like them using so much of Ford in those. But I mean, it's rookie seasons. Like I feel like we tend to, we're like, let this
we are Dynasty brain.
We know it's like, good. Yeah. Like let it happen.
We're like, play Tootin, please.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, it's just surprising because it's like, what Ford is, and it's like, you also want to know what Dylan Sampson is, but we don't know. In a team where it doesn't matter, respectfully, it doesn't matter if there's any Browns fans here. Like, I wanted to play your
This rookie. Is the Panthers
this
fan.
was the issue.
This is the Panthers fan.
This is the Hey, when the Panthers sucked, Ron Rivera's last year, he would not play Brian Burns for some reason. And everyone's like, you got to play Brian Burns. He is good. You need to give him more snaps. Turns out Brian Burns was good. We probably should have re-signed him. But play your rookies. Like, if you're a bad team, like, why are you rolling out a vet? Like, give your young guys time to develop. Even if they're getting blown up in pass blocking, it's like, okay, we'll get some film in there. Like they should always be playing a decent amount of snaps, especially if you're out of it. I get if you're a contender. I get if you're in the mix and the hunt. But for teams that are out of it, like get your guys some snaps.
AJ Lee here, falling out of the playoff race due to injuries. Decided to trade Devontae and Sharps for a 27 first. I undersell here. Don't have a 26 first. Would you move AJ Brown for a first? Or is that a sell low? Man, I think the toughest thing about this equation, like just with the pieces you've given to me, is that you don't have your own first. Thank you for this up. That you don't have your own first next year. And so I'd be curious how close you are to finding a way to make the playoffs, because those leagues where I don't have my own first and I don't have a way to get it back, I do try to hold on to, like, can I sneak in as a 6 seed? Like if I'm already not having my first for next year. But if it's a lost cause, like you're bottom of the league, I know some people like to do the let me make this pick as great as possible or as bad as possible for the person who has my first. So I'm like going to keep pushing in even though that's hopeless. But I do think that in those situations, it is better to bite the bullet and have a 201 versus making your second round pick, middle, just because you're trying to screw over the person that has your first. So I think with all that out of the way, talking through that aspect of it, I think Devontae and Sharps for a 27 first is not bad at all on a team that you're not making the playoffs.
I think too, you got to understand like in a vacuum, it's like only a first. Like you should have gotten more, but the scarcity of first round picks does exist, and that's a big hurdle. Like sometimes you're gonna have to take a little bit of a haircut to get that flexible asset of that first round pick. So even if you look at trade calculators and like, someone got it first in 2 seconds for Devontae Adams, like I should have sold more. Your market might not say that. I mean, it's like saying, oh, like should I buy Nvidia stock or whatever? It's like, yeah, but like when you actually sit down and you're like, oh, I have X amount of dollars to spend.
Yeah.
I can't just buy everything. Like I have to make choices and kind of ration out the assets I have. And I think here, like okay, like maybe you sold 15% low on Sharps. Who really cares? Like that's not going to break the bank, especially if that 27 pick becomes in a Buka tier wide receiver, and it's like, oh, cool, like I doubled that investment. So I think that's a good move. I think also trading AJ Brown for a first round pick, and since he said falling out of the playoff race, I also assume you're not like looking at the 101 that you gave up. I assume you're probably like, oh man, I'm the 105. And it's easier to kind of live with that instead of being like, man, I let up the 102.
Yeah, and I do think like when you're worried about am I selling too low and I'm getting a first round pick back, like I look at the individual pieces and it's like, dude, Sharps is such a stars have to align for you to ever get a first round pick straight up for Charbonnet. Like he is like good for what he is, high value handcuff for sure. Like it would have to be.
He's like a desperate second round pick.
Yeah, it's like, and I mean, the stars might even have to line a little bit for you to get a second straight up. Like he's probably worth somewhere in between that like second and third. But like if we're talking in the context of a first round pick, like the time to get a first round pick for Devontae Adams is running out on these teams where you don't need him. And with that being said, I mean, he probably, if he wants to stay in the situation and the Rams run it back with McVay and Stafford for another year, he's probably going to be in a similar high value touchdown role. But yeah, I think teams you don't need that getting it first. And Christopher's calling his friend to get Devontae Adams. I don't have a lot of Devontae either. Who was Will's old receiver? A lot of Jawan Jennings. I was making the Jawan Jennings bet. It was a lot cheaper. Yeah, he scored.
Jennings. Yeah, I have a lot of Jawan Jennings. I had some Stephon Diggs.
Diggs has been weird, man. I got kind of I feel like I got bait and switched this last game with it. Looked like obviously Boute's been out, but the like route jumped. It felt like it was this kind of like he's finally getting, we're gonna push 70+% route stuff, snap share coming off the ACL, and it was like a slow roll at the start of the season. And then he has this last game and he was at like 40 or 50 or something. And he just might be just be Keenan Jr., where it's just like he's just not going to be a 80-90% guy, and he's just going to be this 50-60, which can be good if his per numbers are good, but just a little sketchier.
Yeah, I mean, I think too the Patriots are a bit like the Packers in a way of like they like to spread the ball out a little bit, so it's hard to know from a fantasy perspective, like, oh, Matt Collins is
Yeah.
this week. Like it's hard to know which one is going to be the guy they like.
You
They
did
have a
know it
lot
was
of
Hunter Henry
decent
week,
pass
though,
catchers.
because they were playing the Bengals, right? You did know.
That's
You did
true.
know that. All right. I've got a 2 live stream asks I'm going to pull up. But Becca wants to know, who do y'all think will win Dancing with the Stars? Let me just Google Dancing with the Stars real quick while I'm getting this pulled up.
I think it's live right now. I think it's about to end.
Finalists.
Like I think it starts at 8. I think this is the finale.
I don't know any of these people. Oh, Robert Irwin.
I will say Robert Irwin has got to have the poly market odds.
Let's go. That's my guy. It's the only name that I recognized. That's on me though. I'm taking that.
You don't know Alex Earl?
I see an Olympian there. Okay, now I have to go back.
Yeah,
to
Jordan
Googling.
Childs.
Oh, okay. I know Jordan Childs. Do I know Jordan
she's
Childs?
Third, 4% chance to win according to Poly Market.
I know. Okay, that's.
I've never used this site before. I just always see the screenshots.
Wait, who's Alex Earl? Should I know this person?
She's like a TikToker.
American internet personality.
She's dating Baxton Berrios.
Okay.
She was in the
shout out to my sister.
the Hard Knocks.
She keeps me updated on Braxton Berrios's TikTok antics with, I assume, his internet celebrity girlfriend. And I have to tell her every time that Braxton Berrios really doesn't matter for what I do, or really has ever mattered for what I do, but that I appreciate being connected.
Got kick return yards.
Yeah, being connected with her in some way. All right, so quick live stream ask here. We've got not really a trade question, but how does being in a 10-man, so it's in parentheses 100 starter league, I assume that's just a 10 by 10, affect values. So 10 by 10. Same with 2 tight end premium versus no tight end premium. I feel like the 10-man, like 10 by 10, like these like very, very shallow leagues we talk about a decent amount, like consolidation is just the obvious buzzword that has to get brought up, like anytime you can consolidate, and even overpay. Like I think in these shallow leagues that, people use these trade calculation sites, and they're into dynasty-daddy.com and check out the trade calculator there.
There we go. Like
seeing a trade come through and they type it in and it's heavily favoring their side, but it's a 10 by 9 or a 10 by 10, like great. You got a bunch of, you got 2 additional seconds. I overpaid by 2 seconds, but how much are 2 second round picks going to matter for me and my 10 by 10, my 10 by 9? The second part, 2 tight end premium versus no tight end premium. You've talked about this, and I'll let you do your little tight end spiel of your take on, you think that there should be more start 2 tight ends than like the heavier tight end premiums. But I think we both are in the same boat that it more so boosts the top end tight ends, the like crazy Trey McBride games, the crazy Bowers games, than it necessarily brings up the Isaiah Likely's of the world to like really mattering. Like obviously any tight ends that run routes are going to matter in these leagues, but matter in the context of how much I'm willing to pay for them.
Yeah, I mean you covered the first part pretty well about just the amount of players. But when it comes to the tight end premium, it really does make the elite guys better. Just think of going from half PPR to full PPR. It's like the difference between a wide receiver that catches the ball 4 times, 100 yards and a touchdown versus a wide receiver that catches the ball 12 times is going to be so much different in a full PPR league versus a half PPR league. And that's just because more catches. So when you have these tight ends that do have extra boosts like the Trey McBride, the Brock Bowers, where they are demanding a significant amount of the target share, those are going to be the guys that are going to become not just good, but become elite, like Jonathan Taylor-esque type players that you want. And then if it's a double tight end premium, I will say that's when I feel confident with the flexibility of, and by flexibility I mean like, oh, I have Hunter Henry, I can use him as a flex player versus my comparable wide receiver, just because the floor is a lot easier for them to score because all they got to do is catch 4 passes versus a wide receiver that has to catch 8. So there is some options. I do think it does make some of those lower end tight ends valuable, but it's certainly like the tight end premium boost the high end so much more than it boosts the middle class tight ends because they all kind of score similarly. You're going to have weeks where Mark Andrews does well. You're going to have weeks when he scores 0 points. That's just kind of how he goes. You have a lot of those types of tight ends, and those guys are going to really fluctuate in terms of WAR and impact on your league. Now, if you do a 2 tight end, like start 2 tight ends similar to 2 quarterbacks, it's going to all of a sudden make those tight ends that are more consistent even more valuable because you're like, I have to start 2 each week versus, oh, I just am going to start Josh Allen like I do in a 1 QB league and I don't worry about it.
I'm fascinated by this. I did a quick. Do you know who's leading the league in receptions? I want you to just give me one guess.
You gotta put me on the spot like that. Is it like I would either say JSN or Christian McCaffrey?
CMC. Now, granted, the Niners have not had their bye week yet, but the reason I looked this up is because I wanted to confirm what I knew, that through 11 games, Trey McBride is tied for the lead in receptions. And like that was kind of a little bit of a nod to like the high end tight ends and like how much value they can give you. But I think the like full point plus tight end premium question, it's like just think about the middle lower range of tight ends. Like how many times is like even Hunter Henry, who is like a fun tight end in that range, like how often are you getting 8-9 reception Hunter Henry games versus what those other guys can give you? So like even the good games are a little bit more based on touchdowns in that range versus the reception totals, but that's funny.
Yeah, I mean, even like a double PPR tight end premium, like Trey McBride versus any other wide receiver, you're like, oh, I'm definitely going Trey McBride because he's going to score double the points from the receptions.
Yeah. So JSN is tied with Trey McBride with 80 through 11 games. And dude, Puka's such a monster. Puka has 80 through 10 games, and like some of those aren't even full games. Just an absolute unit.
I'm glad Kyle Shanahan is easing McCaffrey into his workload.
All right, can I give you one crazy JSN stat just because I feel like I owe it to him because I kind of buried the lead and I didn't lie. It was lie of omission that he was tied with the lead. JSN
to the Dynasty Daddy trade show right now?
Give me a guess. JSN's lowest receiving yardage total in a game this season.
Oh, is it like 78 yards or something?
79.
Oh,
isn't that insane?
That's impressive. Wow.
His worst game this year was a 4 for 79 game. It's insane.
That's crazy. Yeah, I mean, JSN's just, he started off slow because Puka exploded, but then he got banged up and Puka's been kind of like a little bit less consistent. And JSN's just been 10 catches, 100-something yards, a touchdown. Like there's always the cut to the red zone. On red zone, it's like, oh, here's JSN.
He's walking backwards. Yeah, he's walking backwards behind
like, okay, safety. Well, there's my JSN moment of the day.
Give Travis Hunter. Oh, I'm the Travis Hunter guy, but I think I have to take the Waddle side. Give Travis Hunter. Give Waddle. And while you're thinking on that, I'll read through the team. It's a 12 by 10, 0.75 10 premium, 6-point pass touchdown, 3 wide receiver, 2 flex. Lamar, Brissett, Daniel Jones, Kyler, Bijan, CMC, Hampton, Dowdle, Woody, Puka, Amon-Ra, Rice, Hunter, DJ Moore, Gadsden, Fannin. Deadline's week 14, first place, most points for it. Yeah, I would guess this team is nasty. I honestly, this is kind of like, you can't go wrong with like 1-for-1 trades for those kind of players when you're starting Puka, Amon-Ra, Rice every week. So yeah, give me. I mean, are you even starting Waddle?
I think it's more of like, oh, the playoffs are here and I need a guy that's starting.
Yeah.
And that's why you do it.
You're playing Bijan CMC. Yeah. It's a 12 by 10. So you're playing Bijan CMC, and if it's 2 flexes, you're choosing between Hampton when he's back and Dowdle. So yeah, I mean, if you're, yeah, I mean, honestly, it might not even change my answer just because, love Travis Hunter, but I think there's questions coming off a major injury. Team's probably re-signing Jacoby, which I don't think is like a death sentence or anything for his outlook as a receiver, but just like another it's just another nod of like the uncertainty of what the situation is going to look like. So when it's for Waddle tier that I know is just a great receiver, maybe can get situation upgrade, or
Yeah, and I
has
mean, I think
with the
too the
Tyreek
big
Hill
thing is
stuff.
I am your first place, and you're sitting there and like, okay, well, week 16 happens, and all of a sudden, God forbid, Rasheed Rice is out. It's like I need a guy that I can actually start, and the availability here is going to be way more impactful than what if Hunter hits? Like Hunter,
And it's not
even if that
a
hits,
it's
even
not a
if that
killer.
hits, yeah, like I'd rather just stack the deck, win a championship. If I am a top team, I probably shouldn't be holding any of these IR players. If I can get out for similar price, I'm doing that every day of the week because I need players that are scoring now.
Yeah. And when I was interrupting you, it was just to throw in that it's not like one of these deals where it's like Travis Hunter for Devontae Adams. And it's like, oh,
Mhm.
like, do you need to do this? It's like Jalen Waddle, like it's you're not buying a 30-year-old receiver for your
I
injured.
would do it for Devontae Adams though,
You don't need to on this team though, right? Like,
or like Stephon Diggs.
Can you hold a
No,
little dynasty
Devontae
value on
Adams
this
is a
team?
touchdown machine.
Puka.
You tell me I stick Devontae Adams in my flex, he just drops 20 points a game. I'm trying to win. I don't care about dynasty value.
All right, we're moving on.
But if you do, go to dynastydaddy.com.
Do you want to see what I had planned? A little peel behind the curtain. Jeremy gave me the heads up that, the situation was going to be a little unique for him. And he was like, we were talking, maybe do a solo stream. I didn't have a solo overlay set up. So it's just going to be this big old subscriber count in the top left corner on top of it. So, there you go. You guys get to see Jeremy instead of,
But didn't you have the best ball streams, or that's a special
that's
overlay
a
to
special.
that's special.
I'm
That's
I'm
special.
worried. Should I click it and see what happens? Where is it? I moved it. Will took a break from his stream display underdog.
This is a riveting
Here we go.
podcasting right here.
Kind of a banger overlay, except so the top portion that's just my desktop right now would be the draft board, and then the bottom portion would be the players I could select. Playoff best ball coming back. Let me know if you guys want to watch Actually, I'm just gonna do it anyways, so don't let me know. Just tune in. Tune in when they're live. They'll be happening at some point in our lives. Okay. I've got hopping around the overlays here. All right, I have a live stream ask question up. So we got OJ
Let's
Simpson
do it.
here. Hampton owner is a contender and is looking to move off of him, which I wonder if this will change. I know the practice window just got opened up. I don't know if we'll see Hampton this week, but sounds like we'll be sooner rather than later. Let's go. And shout out to Polly. I think this is your team here. Let's go. Feel free to give us any additional context while we're going through this. But I was trying to acquire him and Neighbors, but he just moved off of him. Any ideas to acquire Hampton as a rebuilder? This is a best ball league. So this is a 6 and 8 team, has their own first and an additional first.
I would say yes. I'm a fan. Like in best ball, your biggest advantage is you don't need points. Like if you're rebuilding, so you can take on the Scataboos and the Neighbors and those types of players. That being said, we just got positive Hampton news that I don't know if the discount is going to be there if you bought literally last week.
The tough thing too with this is you're not able to consolidate with like picks and youth. Like this is a very specific situation where it is from a contender moving like a huge dynasty asset. So I think it'd have to be one of Hurts. Honestly, it would have to probably just be Hurts or Rice, because I don't think the Hampton guy is like really listening to Marv, Jordan Addison.
Yeah, no, I mean it would have to
any of
be
these other
Hurts or
names.
Rice. Or you move a first. But like what contender's going to be like, yes, let me sell.
Yeah.
Like he held on to a 0 for like 8 weeks. Like they're not going to be like, oh, now I want to sell.
It's a 14 and 10 team.
I think if I'm trying to go, like, is there a Neighbors? Is there a Scataboo? Are they like Neighbors is on a rebuild? Is Scataboo on a rebuild? Like, yeah, so they are. But like, I think you got to hit them before the positive news comes back.
Yeah.
Like Drake London on this contender, the Quinshon Judkins team. Like Drake London, we don't really know what that situation is going to look like. You can still spin the Kirk Cousins situation as well. Like no one, the old elite Drake London usage probably isn't going to be there. Like that might be something that you can go after and be like, hey, here's Rashid Rice, and that probably gets the conversation going.
The
You kind of have to strike on the uncertainty.
Yeah, I do like that, and I think that's probably is the avenue you'd have to take. Can you hear? I don't want you to hear me out. Can you hear my brain out while I'm trying to configure what a Hampton trade would reasonably look like? Go. Are you willing? Okay, thank you.
Yes, all right, we're doing it.
we haven't gone lightning mode at all tonight. We don't have a ton of the messages in there, so I think we can listen to Will's brain for a minute. Okay,
it's dangerous.
I'm gonna start. I think that if I'm this person and I'm moving off of Hampton, especially in a best ball league, I want to either be getting from you. We'll go back to your team. I want to either be getting from you one of Hurts, Rice. Probably Hurts or Rice would have to be a part of it. So would you
Hurts or Rice have to be involved?
Would you do a QB down tier from Hurts to like Herbert? Yeah, I don't know if that would do it.
You're not going to get Herbert in Hampton.
All right, it's my brain. It's my brain. Okay, so let's flip to the Rice side. Would you move Rice? What plus are you after on this team specifically? Would you try to go after Kraft?
Rashid Rice I think Kraft and Hampton could be an angle. I think you'd probably still have to throw like a second or something back.
Yeah. I mean, this team might like getting Woody. Like if you could probably do some kind of like Rice, Woody, Hampton, Kraft type of deal.
I think you could do Rice for Hampton and maybe like Xavier Worthy. Like if you don't want to do anything on top of Rice, I think if you're like, give me the underwhelming, still young, still has some upside and a little banged up wide receiver that's tied to Mahomes.
Yeah.
And I'll take Hampton. I think that's probably more realistic. If you're going after Tucker Kraft, you might need to add like a third or a Woody Marks or something. I think if you did Woody Marks and Rice, you could probably get Hampton and Kraft. Because while Amarion Hampton has positive news, this team's trying to win, and Tucker Kraft, especially on the rebuilder, is taking up a roster spot that is a 0 every week, unless if you have IR.
Does that change
the painful thing about best ball?
Okay, it is a 0.75 tight end premium, and they do have Fannin, Otten. Yeah, I wonder if they would make you include like Mason Taylor in the deal, even though that's not like super appealing for a contender just because of the format. But I would probably start there. I think especially in a 0.75 tight end premium best ball, like having guys like Tucker Kraft that can give you these like monster games. The only interesting thing is it's not necessarily like Kraft doesn't really give you like 8-9 reception games that like really, really smash for best ball. But I mean, with that being said, Tucker Kraft just kind of smashes regardless. So I'm going to stop talking about the downsides of Tucker Kraft and tight end premium. Yeah, I don't hate that. Rice, Woody, Hampton, Kraft. Who says no? They're 14-10, so they might be even extra motivated to make deals like that.
Yeah, man, I don't think it's a bad deal. It is something though. If I wanted, I would have been banging on that door. I've been banging on that door freaking last week. Like, I don't want any positive news about an injured player I'm trying to trade for.
Right, for sure.
Like the second Drake London hits IR, I'm going to be like sending everything in every league.
Man, I'm pouring one out for you with the like, thank God Hurts is in this QB room in best ball, because JJ McCarthy, Bryce Young, Kyler Murray that's just got to be sad to look at in that potential QB2 spot.
Kyler freaking Murray is going to be QB1 next year for the Carolina Panthers.
Where can Bryce go?
He's going to go to
the
LA.
Saints. Oh, the Saints, bro.
Yeah, the Bryce Young revenge.
I probably wouldn't do Hurts. I do Rice and something for Hampton and Kraft. Yeah, I think that's probably where you'd have to go. And I think, like, from his perspective, losing Hampton when he probably is going to come back soon, when he has like Chase Brown, Rico, and then it's like, yeah, Keaton Mitchell's fun, but like none of these running back names you can really count on giving you production in best ball. So he probably would want like a Woody Marks or Tootin or something back just as like or even Charbonnet. I mean, I would try that. I don't know if you could get that done. It is best ball. You know, he score some touchdowns. But yeah, I think that's probably the best avenue if you're trying to get Hamster. Wow, the Hamster. That's a good little Hampton nickname. All right.
Wow.
Sorry,
Hamster.
it kind of caught me off guard. All right, we got a Petty
like
Mills
that paved like a new highway in your brain. Like the Hamster.
This might be I'm not just saying this just because I ran out of water, but let's hit this oh, we got a Patty Mills one. Never mind. I'm not gonna say what I was gonna say.
We got two.
Oh, we got two? Wait,
We got Buki.
Buki?
Book 14.
Oh,
right
Book.
Above the Patty Mills.
All right, Book is first. My bad, Buki. Buki. Is Buki like, is that like
I don't know if it's Buki, but
girlfriend nickname? Am I getting that right? Buki.
I've never used it.
I got you, Buki. What's the
Buki? Isn't it like Pookie or something?
Pookie? That's probably what it is. All right, Buki. I got you. All right, where's the Buki boy? Here we go. Found the team. All right.
Oh, dang. It's right at the top. Makes it easy for us.
Bang. All right. Lamar Jackson or Trevor Lawrence just for this week. Man, the Lamar games have been bad, but he gets to play the Bengals. Right?
Yeah, I mean, there's no world where I'm going to start Trevor Lawrence.
just in general. Just in general.
Yeah, like to me, it's like if I miss out on a good Trevor Lawrence game, I'm like, well, it's Trevor Lawrence. Like, it's fine. If I miss out on like Lamar Jackson dropping like 40 points, I'd be like, what was I doing? Over analyzing this, and like I have Lamar Jackson. Like let's just ride or die Lamar Jackson. I need a couple more weeks of him putting up 4 points before I'm like, okay, let's start exploring other options.
Yep. Yeah, the Lamar stuff sucks, but I think you kind of have to stick with it. I mean, he's obviously hurt. He's been a little off. But he's still Lamar Jackson, and he's still playing the Bengals this week. All right. Sitting in first in points for our league was a startup this summer. Let's go. Made early moves preseason to grab Nico to bolster wide receiver depth that has paid off. Really only want to try to add one depth piece to the running back room with how congested the standings are. This is a RJ Harvey, Woody Marks, Sean Tucker, Aaron Jones, Charbonnet, Bill.
Yeah, it's a little rough.
Poor Bill. This wide receiver room, though. JSN, Drake London, Nico, Diggs, Josh Downs. Even got Trey Tucker there. You got Ferg and Gadsden and Kincaid. All right. 7 teams within a game of each other for seeds 5, 6. As of right now, it feels hard to get bubble teams to bid off of guys I'd like to grab. Any ideas are appreciated. Love the site, and I'm looking forward to Fantasy Red Zone this weekend. Let's go. Yeah, shout out to you.
Yeah,
Jeremy,
it's live.
Fantasy Red Zone.
It's live to the people.
Dude,
I dropped a trailer today on the channel.
Let's go. If you haven't checked it out, you at least need to give it a look. Like, I feel like every fantasy person has had the thought of like, what if I could like click a button on my TV and it would show me my fantasy teams? Like, that's the type of Jeremy's on right now. We're in the future right now. All right. Sorry, I tried to give you a good promo, and I think I just I need to practice that one.
I'm on cloud 9.
I need to practice that one in the mirror a little bit more. All right, let's take a look at the running backs. So you don't have your first, but you do have someone else's second and a third to work with. Okay. I'm going down the line. Oh, okay.
Question. So we have a lot of teams in the middle, and this is kind of the hard part. Like there's a couple teams that are bad, 2 teams, but they have like Devon A-Chain. Like, what are you going to do with Devon A-Chain? Like that's one that you have to overpay for. Like, are you paying a Drake London for A-Chain? Like, maybe that's something, especially if London's out for an extended time. That's something as a contender. That's a win now move I'd look at. And A-Chain's been absolutely a difference maker.
Yeah.
So that's certainly something to look at if I want a higher end guy, and that's someone that would be a motivated buyer now. Now, if we're talking non, because the other guy, like all the other players, kind of like nah. Um, I think this is one where it's like I might have to wait one more week before some of these contending team or these middle of the pack teams are like odds are not in my favor.
Yeah.
You know, like I might have to wait a week before I'm like, yeah, maybe I trade a Bucky, maybe I trade a Jalen Warren, maybe I trade a Rico Dowdle, maybe I trade some of these guys. Just because they're gonna be like, I want to try to win. And you can have that conversation with them and be like, hey man, don't you want like the insurance policy of like if it doesn't work out, like you still get something? Like
Yeah.
you know, it's like, oh, man, I didn't win, but now I have an extra second. Like that's cool. But a lot of these teams are, I mean, I'm sure if we look at like the playoff calculator, everything's going to be for as close to the playoffs as it is. The fact that we have 4 teams with over 10% chance of getting the 5 or 6 spot
I know.
is kind of crazy. Like everyone is neck and neck, and you still have a team, the Road Warriors, shout out to them, 7% chance. And things can change quickly. So to me, it's hard to
Pick a specific.
it's hard to like it's hard to be like, I can convince you to give up, right? Like they
Yeah.
they're in the mix. Like they're probably not going to want to give up
The
until they
only
really.
the only one thing that I would, and I agree with you. I think especially being 10-2 right now, like it is nice you have 2 games on the bye week, if that makes sense. So like the next team in terms of you losing the bye week would be this 8-4 team jumping, and even I mean I assume, yeah, you're first in points for. So 2 weeks from now, you know, if we're 2 weeks out from the playoff starting, like worst case scenario, it's a points for battle with this 8-4 team if they win both and you lose both. And if you're first right now, I assume you feel confident holding on to that. So with that being said, that's why we talked about holding on a week before making a deal. I would check this Dual team. You have their second. So if they lose this week and are 5-8, they're looking at, shoot, I'm missing the playoffs. You know, a lot of these 6-6 teams are going to be 7-6. They're going to be 2 games out. It's going to be insurmountable. Then I would kind of knock the door and see. Bucky is probably going to be tough, and Chase Brown I don't love, but I think Chase Brown might be in that range of a team that's out of the playoffs might say, hey, I'm willing to move off of this guy who I have a little bit of uncertainty on, like long-term situation, whatnot. Some people talk themselves into that. So
Yeah, I mean, I'm more inclined to like take a look at like Patty 8, Kenneth Walker, Rico Dowdle. I think those are both easily obtainable.
yeah.
Land of Helmet has Travis Etienne. Like those are guys that I think you could probably get for cheaper than a Chase Brown, who still has the dynasty value veneers. That someone might be like, oh, I need a second and a third and something. You know, like, and I'm like, okay, I don't need that for Chase Brown. Like I need to just buy somebody that I can plug in.
Yeah.
Like if I'm paying that much at this point, like let me send Drake London for A-Chain to that loser team and just lock in a guy that I feel great about this year and beyond.
Yeah. So the additional context, Rocky Top is here in the chat, plays D-Wall this week. Hit him up in the DMs last week asking about a price check on both Bucky and Chase. And I assume that you did not hear back on the price check on those. But I think especially
price check on the A-Chain.
I mean, JSN, Nico Diggs, CD.
I think you might be like some people too. Like literally, you might be able to just be like, RJ Harvey, Gadsden a second or something. Like they might be like, oh, it's a rebuilder. A-Chain is like in year 3 or 4. Like you might be able to get like a bargain.
And I mean, there's like this. I would not want to show up to a Gibbs, Bijan, A-Chan fight with a gunfight with a RJ Harvey, Woody Marks knife. But wow, that
maybe a Sean Tucker.
That took
everything. Sean Tucker knife.
There you go.
A Sean Tucker knife.
Honestly, a Sean Tucker
might
knife.
not open, or it might shoot a gun or shoot a bullet.
The Aaron Jones knife will be broken by the time you need to whip it out. But no, I just think like I think the roles, even though there's like frustrating aspects of it, like Woody with the, Nick Chubb goal line stuff, RJ Harvey with Jaleel and other running backs being more involved than you want. I think there was like some exciting stuff for both of these guys role wise. I think that's an additional point of like, you are working with current right now information while planning for 3 weeks from now playoff round 1. So what you could do is, it's going to feel like you're not preparing and not getting ready, but in reality I think you're just giving yourself more information to then be super confident you're making the right move when you do send whatever pick or player swap to get one of those running backs. 400-point lead on the 8-4 team, so I feel almost locked to the bye week. Let's go, man. Beautiful. I've got
to be.
I don't think I have any like I'm killing the league getting the bye weeks. I've got a couple like I'm on the edge and it's gonna be
take our
down
advice.
to the wire.
Take our advice.
Yeah. No, this team is sick. I mean, Josh Allen, Drake
my
May,
teams are all mid this year.
JSN.
But I was rank 1 Scott Fishbowl for 1 week. So
I remember. Who was there?
I have credentials. We were all there. It's recorded.
Ooh. All right, I see Dabadoobie here asking about Alpha Daddy. Let's hit that real quick, and then Patty will hit your live stream ask. So let me pull up the Alpha Daddy. Actually, I could just click over. I'm not gonna go to sleeper. I'll just click over to the actual league, and maybe I can get Tyrone Tracy right now.
This is the Louvre heist. This is Will's version of it.
All right, let's
might be able to make the playoffs still. 4-8 seems loaded.
Yeah, Sean Tucker. All right, Dabadoobie. All right, torn on what to do in Alpha Daddy. Borderline playoff team, but running backs suck. Do I make some moves and go for it, or hold for next year with Neighbors back? Yeah, that's a tough thing when that Neighbors just burning a hole. Wait. Oh, there he is. Dude, this team is crazy. JSN, Puka, Neighbors, Flowers.
Oh man, that's
Wandale, Shakir. Yeah, you got Swift.
I think you go for it. Like looking at the bones of this, like Ferg is doing awesome. Running back's a little bit weak, but the big advantage is you do have a Neighbors. Like a Neighbors is I can sell him and he's basically 2 first-round picks stapled together, scoring me no points. And I can go to any rebuilding team and get a win now piece. That is significant.
I think
I think there's probably a couple teams out there that would. I mean, here we go again. Devon Achane on K Simpson 5 and 7. You can trade him straight up, and then I'll fix your RB room.
I am gonna send K Simpson 2 firsts and what for HN. This is the second part of this question.
Neighbors in the first round pick. Boom, you got outbid.
Do you think would you do that? Neighbors in a first? I wouldn't want to send my own first. But
I mean, I feel like you could just be like, oh, instead of that, could I just send Neighbors for like JJ or something? Like, I can get another valuable piece. Like, if you're really hyper fixated on A-Chain, I could do something else.
Dude,
Sean Tucker.
Should I?
Sean Tucker and Tyrone Tracy.
All right, can you fix my team real quick?
We gotta help our boy out.
No. Screw him. He wants a running back. I need a running back in this league. Okay. I've got.
Don't give him good advice.
I was banking on J.K. Dobbins. All right, never mind. It's fine. We can lock in for you.
C-Mill is rebuilding.
He has Jacobs, yeah, doesn't he?
You could go for kind of a Jacobs deal. Honestly, send your first to him. He'd probably take it for Jacobs straight up, like a first Jacobs, some sort of filler, whatever side you want. That would be a decent deal to kind of address. Let me load up on win now talent. And then you could also move Neighbors and plug another hole. Be like Neighbors for A-Chain and also get Josh Jacobs. And now you have an absolute wagon if you really want to go in. I'm not necessarily saying you should do that though, just because where are you at in the playoffs? Like, are you?
I wanted to check it for my team actually. Oh, let's go 87%. Dude, my team's fun. All right. Once I get a running back, my team's gonna be really fun. I got Bowers and McBride, 0.75 ton of premium. Come on.
You're right on the fringe.
Once Bauer starts getting targets, I'm gonna be.
It all comes down to the Gator guy. The Gator guy is
the league matchups this week. I'm trying to remember. So this is a win. Who's
okay?
Murr?
Well,
this is gonna be a battle. Wait, how good is Murr's team you play this week? Lamar, Josh Allen, JT, Brees, Travion, Michael Wilson.
I mean, I think too. Burt's McGee has like Rashee Rice. If you want to do a neighbors for Rice plus maybe a second.
I was trying to get.
Dude, like I think there's options to move Rice and or your first round pick and pick up valuable win now pieces.
Neighbors.
Yeah, and that's something I would look at doing if I want to. It could also be like, hey, maybe Gator's gonna fall. The real talk situation though is I don't think your running back room is built to win.
Yeah, same.
Vidal is not going to be viable. JCM is not really viable. DeAndre Swift is like an all right flex option.
But the arrow.
So I think really
is
what
not
I would be trying to do is like, can I take neighbors, get like an A-chain? Can I get some sort of elite running back there? And then can I take my first round pick and also do that? And if I miss out on the 107, the 108, oh well. Like I now have Jacobs, I have A-chain, I have, like, is there some, and hey, maybe people are stingy and it doesn't work out. That's fine. I'll just hold on to my pick. But I do think you could go to like some of those managers with the Jacobs, with the A-chain and actually get deals done that kind of round out this roster. Because if you take out neighbors, you have Robinson, you have Shakir, you have Flowers, you have guys that are serviceable, Dobbs, guys I feel fine starting at the running back position, or not running back, wide receiver, but your running backs are certainly a little bit shaky. Honestly, too, you might want to pick up some quarterbacks because I just looked at that. That doesn't look too good.
Hey, no, Jacoby's slinging it, bro. Actually, no, I want you to tank. Dab, you should tank. Okay, just I gotta get that playoff spot, bro. Just pack it up, bro. Neighbors are hurt. This team sucks. Yeah, I'm taking it from this team for sure. No. I think so. Like what I was trying to do to peel behind the curtain, like my team. Gosh, man, why did I draft Cam Ward? I actually like the outlook.
Hey, you said week 1 he was really good though.
I knew exactly what was going to happen with Cam Ward. Not exactly. I'm such a believer.
You knew exactly. That's why you took him.
That rookie quarterbacks, even when they're good, like rarely give you difference-making production. And I don't know, man. I just thought he was going to be good. Still think he's going to be good. But all good. I got Tyrod. All right, with this team, just to peel behind the curtain a little bit, after Dobbins went down, and I made the Nico trade, I was like, this team, Pickens is balling. This team can make a run, man. With these 2 tight ends. So I was heavily considering moving Bowers to see what kind of haul I could get for like smash dynasty running back, potentially plus. But I think I'd rather move picks or singular pick for running back to just try to give myself a good go this year.
Yeah, I mean you do have 2 first-round picks as well, so it's like might as well. Like I'd much rather keep Brock Bowers.
Yeah.
Than try to move Brock Bowers because we do have a tight end premium as well. So like that's going to be having both of the elite difference-making tight ends.
I'm sending this trade live on air. How much would you pay for HN on this team?
Brock Bowers for Tyrone Tracy. Wow. Yeah. You were right. We are going to make that Tyrone Tracy deal.
Oh my gosh. I wasn't sure if I should send this trade. All right. I'm about to click on shout out to K Simpson. Thank you for being in the Alpha Daddy League. It's not your fault that your QB room looks like this, but I'm about to click this open. 5-7, right? You see the rebuilding. You're like, maybe, some 5-7 teams think they can make it. Look at this QB room. JJ McCarthy, Michael Penix, Jalen Milroe. So I am going to be sending an HN trade to this guy. Achan?
Let's see what chat's saying.
What do you guys think? 2 firsts?
Will is carnivorous.
Wait, ready? What if I hit him with this? Let's see.
This is starting to give best ball vibes.
All right, late first, 2026.
We're going off the rails.
Maybe mine is mid. Yeah, we'll do this. All right. His tight ends are pretty good, actually. He's got Gadsden. All right, never mind. We'll do this later. This is what Will do tonight. I'll find something that'll make him happy. Next time, while you guys are eating your turkey dinner, just know that I'll be patiently waiting on an Achan trade that I send this league.
Buki, you got to get in there. You got to get in there quick.
Buki, this one was Dabadoobie. Buki is we tucked Buki in. Buki's all good.
Oh, well, yeah, Dabadoobie. Yep.
This is Pookie. All right. Thanks for the info, fellas. Love it. Hey, appreciate you, Buki. All right, I'm gonna pull up Patty Mills here next. I'm gonna give you this one full Caminia because I'm also gonna I'm also gonna get water. All right, Jalen Warren for DK Metcalf, worth or no?
Wait, is this a message?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant the live stream ass.
Oh no, Jalen Warren. You're really choking the live stream right now. Oh my gosh, I said the
live's too bright.
I meant to say you're choking the full cam, and I just said you're choking the live stream, which is like a lot ruder. I would like to apologize. My bad.
Jalen Warren or DK Metcalf, worth or no? I would probably. I think it's fine. I like DK Metcalf's a little inconsistent, but like he's going to be there for a while. It's going to be a meaningful wide receiver. Jalen Warren's kind of in and out. But I do think if you do need a wide receiver or running back, I'm also fine keeping Jalen Warren here. If I'm just picking in a vacuum, I would pick DK Metcalf just for the longevity of having a locked-in, highly paid wide receiver. He's going to get some usage.
The only sketchy thing about Jalen Warren, who I like a decent amount, is all this Kenneth Gainwell usage we're getting.
That's what I mean. Kenneth Gainwell looks good. And let's not forget, Caleb Johnson.
How could we forget?
But Kenneth Gainwell has looked good. So it's not like you're giving up an ETN type even. It's like Kenneth Gainwell is been involved. That I don't feel like Jalen Warren has like a ton of leeway. Like if things go south, it's going to be bad.
Yeah, it is. It is interesting. I do like Warren. I mean, Warren is. I mean, he's kind of he's one of those bowling ball backs, man. He's a unit. All right. In my lineup, I have Dicker the kicker. What are some of the best player names you've seen? Best player names.
Like in general, like just.
I always think back to like Will's old ESPN redraft league pun names, like the over Dwayne Bow, the
over
the classics. Oh, good. No, I know.
I feel like Jackson Dart is a great name for a quarterback.
That is a banger name. He kind of like, if someone was like, hey, go make Jackson Dart in Madden, and I had never seen or known about Jackson Dart, I would probably make his exact player model and give him a headband and some eye paint.
Yeah, like it's definitely a
flowy hair.
That's like the perfect quarterback name.
Oh, okay. William Bell, I would like to apologize. Patty Mills was next on the docket. What's the opposite of apologizing? I would like to do that to Patty Mills for pulling up his team correctly.
I don't know. What is it? Like stand your ground? Unapologize.
Oh, here we go. Big update. Finally, I was trying to find which, because sometimes I don't put the names, so I like lose track of which one goes with which. But I saw this one finally getting some bites to buy a running back, which is what we've been telling Patty Mills to do on this team. Oh, but you got Emmanuel Wilson last week, 9-3. So let me get a picture of what this bye week is looking like. You got 2 8-4 teams. You're 9-3. All right. Would you send the late first for Barkley or Jacobs? Have another owner selling Hunt for maybe a third, but not sure if it helps me. Yeah, we do get Pacheco coming back, although I do think Hunt will maintain a decent amount of the bruiser goal line role. Short yardage stuff for sure. Would you send your own first for Jacobs on this team? You do have Emmanuel Wilson, which like the handcuff stuff I usually don't think is like that necessary. But with how shallow this running back room is, it kind of is nice to have that with Jacobs dealing with an injury.
Yeah, like that's the issue with Jacobs is like the injury aspect, but you do have the Wilson side. So if and we saw Wilson come in and really be that bell cow backup back that we want. So I feel fine starting him if Jacobs is out. So I mean, honestly, I'm fine taking either of them. I think both of those are solid prices for what this pick will be, which is a late first round pick. And if I can send it for either of those guys, I would take it. Do you have a preference? Like, are you like, I'm still in on Barkley, or you're going to say, even though Jacobs has the injury concerns, when he is playing, he is a more consistent fantasy scorer this year? That I lean that way.
Yeah, and I think the main thing for me is how shallow this league is. So like 12 team start 9, like yes, I'm happy to start Hunt in the situations like last week. He's going to get whatever 25 30 touches, like happy to do that. But I really want to be avoiding the like gross RB2s in super shallow leagues when I have a contending team. And it might feel like a lot to send a first. And usually I try to find cheaper ways to do stuff like that. But I think if you're already having trouble hitting on running backs, nobody will trade you anything. If the Jacobs guy's willing to give you him for a first, I'm down to do that. Would you rather have Barkley? Man. It's so hard because I want to say easily Jacobs, but like the injury stuff is just a tiny bit spooky. And like maybe it's good for Jacobs, but maybe he gets spelled a little bit more and the role isn't like insane and it's a little bit more Wilson since the team's comfortable giving him 30 carries.
Wants to say like I take the bet on Barkley, and then I also bet that if Jacobs is injured, then I get another running back. Like I can trade a first round pick for Jacobs and I only have one running back, or I can trade a first round pick for Barkley and I could potentially have 2 startable running backs.
Yeah, I'm with it. Approved. I think they're both fine. I think it feels like
Will approved.
In the shallow
They're both
league.
fine. They're both.
Oh, it's
deals.
a 14 team. Okay, 14 team start 9.
They're both good deals for where you're at, what that pick will be, which is the 113 and the 114.
Right.
And you're getting a elite running back. It's just like, which flavor do you like? Do you want the one that's injured that will score more if he plays, or the one that's been healthy and is somehow not scoring elite numbers, even though we've seen him do that multiple years?
Yeah. Chubb, the running back for Texans, is also my lineup solely for the name. Chubb and Woody. That's a good one. I have some real wide receiver issues starting Amon-Ra, Jacoby, and Judy. I've got a 26 first. I've been trying to move, but really starting to get something done. A lot of the main targets are on contenders. Yeah, sometimes when you're like... Go ahead.
Well, my question would be is like, okay, if I can't move this 26 first, what am I supposed to do? Right? Do I just suck it up and trade this first round pick for a player I don't think is a first? Or can I get grosser with it and try to get players that aren't valued at a first for like a second, or a random different player, or like an injured player or something like that? Like I trade for a Keenan Allen or a Stephon Diggs, but not have to give up my first, maybe give a second or a second plus something. maybe the first caliber tier of players is just unavailable in that market. Because I'm always hesitant to be like I'm like I'd rather just pick up like Mac Hollins off of waivers and be like, let me just see if this happens, than selling my first round pick for a player that I would regret later, right? Like selling him for I don't even know. I was gonna say Alec Pierce, but Alec Pierce wouldn't be the worst
Yeah.
because he's been at least decent. But like kind of like like selling him for Juwan Jennings and being like, I hope he hits. Like to me, I'm like that's too risky.
Would you
Maybe like look at the grosser tier players and either buy someone for cheap or just be like, I'm just gonna roll with weird players on waivers.
Yeah. Some more context here. Second place in the league. Would love to secure the buy. I have Allen Hurts, Saquon JT, Henry, and Vidal starting. Second tier is where I need to be. Yeah, so like you're not getting Pickens up for a first. So like Pickens, Ladd. I mean, you don't want the injured guys right now. Like T-Mac, Rome, Nico. You're not getting those guys straight up for firsts. Slightly below that, would you send your own first for, I think, AJ Brown? Is he someone you would send your own first for on a contending team?
Yeah, if I'm desperate and the market's tough, like AJ Brown is certainly someone that I mean AJ Brown could be in a new situation next year, and everyone's like, "Oh my God, he's amazing." You know, like the talent is there. It's just like the situation's weird.
Would you do it for? So there's Waddle as well. I would do it for Waddle. Devontae.
Yeah, Waddle.
Devontae is a little tough, but would you do it?
I would do it for Devontae as a contender.
Would you do it for Devonta Smith?
I mean that's probably. I think he's the wide receiver one going forward in Philadelphia.
Yeah, I'd be fine with any of those. It gets a little sketchier when you start getting down to like below that tier. Like I would do it for Zay Flowers still. I love Zay Flowers.
Like Olave. Like once you get below Olave, like I think I'm still not like the biggest believer of Olave, but I'm like there's still enough upside there where it's like if no one is moving anyone, sure. A late first for Olave isn't the worst thing I've ever seen. But when you're looking at like Troy Franklin or Brandon Ayuk or Michael Wilson, I'm like, okay, let's like those are the players where I'm like, can I do a third plus something? Or like we saw earlier in the stream, a second swap and a third for Michael Wilson. Like, is there a trade like that where you can feel better about your wide receiver room?
Like I think like Sutton's been pretty disappointing, and I think like the like buzz and feeling around him is very much like one, this passing offense hasn't been amazing, and two, it's like this is Troy Franklin's, like he has been leading in target share. So I think like you can get depressed contending type assets like Sutton that are still going to be valuable for the next couple of years, even if it's not necessarily the like, oh, he's a smash contender piece that he felt like he was, you know, at points last year. Like there's like Debo. Like I'm more looking not at a first, obviously. I'm more looking at like cheaper receivers in this range that you can get. I still like Alec Pierce. Like I feel like people like the rug pull feeling of last week. Like that whole passing offense was bad. I mean, I don't think Daniel Jones attempted to pass longer than 20 yards last game. Yeah, like Debo, Sutton, Alec Pierce. These are kind of like cheaper. I mean, Diggs I'd still be interested in, even though it's going to be inconsistent. Like if you're starting right here, you said I don't mind starting Jacoby rest of the season, man. Especially with
Yeah, I mean Jacoby fills more of the Travis Hunter offensive role. And like we know Travis Hunter isn't coming back. We know Brian Thomas Jr. is banged up. So I mean you're looking at a great place, honestly, for Jacoby to thrive. So I mean I don't think Jacoby will be a league winner, but for a cheap guy I need to play, it's not the worst.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Larry Gates. 12 by 10, Dynasty, Superflex, tight end premium 0.75. I give ETN 210 and my 26-second for Olave Ayuk. I prefer Olave's schedule to ETN for the playoff run. I also think Olave and Ayuk has more long-term upside. This is an interesting one. The Ayuk stuff has been sketchy, but I think as soon as next year, it could be the voided contract stuff has turned into a divorce for the Niners, and he's signing with like the Commanders or something, and you like that outlook. Maybe not that like specifically. I know it's like kind of a specific scenario, but I don't think Ayuk is a dead asset compared to the other parts of this deal.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
have a lean?
I think it's about fair. The hard part for me is I feel like the assets of a ETN caliber slash what if Tootin breaks out running back is harder to replace than a Olave Ayuk level wide receiver that we've seen over the past couple of years. So like I do think you're getting valuable pieces in both Olave and Ayuk, and the trade is fair. But I sit here and I'm saying, well, when Travis or when ETN is doing well, and if ETN leaves and goes somewhere else and does really well, like if he goes to Dallas or whatever, and Tootin takes over the backfield, then all of a sudden you have two starting caliber running backs, and that's going to be very valuable when there's a multiple starting caliber wide receivers on most offenses. That can probably slide into an Olave Ayuk role unless they make a big jump. Like you said, if Ayuk ends up in Buffalo and is getting amazing usage, then all of a sudden maybe that's a big win. So that's my one hesitation, but ultimately I don't hate the idea of, and I assume too, if you're making a deal like this, you're like, man, I do need, like you said, I prefer Olave's schedule to ETN's. You're probably like, man, I really do need that wide receiver production versus what ETN's going to bring me in the playoffs.
Yeah. And I mean, the one nice Olave thing is we've gotten to see, we've had 2 Shuck weeks. And I mean, this last one wasn't great, but I mean, Olave still had a smash target share game, and both of these have been post Shaheed. So like Olave feels gross, but in the same context, like in this offense, in the current situation, like say what you will about how you feel about Shuck. I like it enough.
I feel like we should have like a banner, like a little like award, because like during the playoffs last year when the Celtics had amazing shot selection, but kept losing to the Knicks, and everyone's like, "Well, but their shot selection was the best." Like I want to have like a target share, but their production was awful.
Yeah.
Like we need to have like a hang the banner for best target share with bad production this week.
PPR scam award.
Not even scam, not even points. Like just like, oh, he got a great target share, but did nothing.
All right. Recently moved Bijan for Hampton and Marv. Was it the right move? I don't want to respond to this with like, what other assets did the person have than Marv? Because I don't want to be a full on Marv hater. Like I do think there is a world.
But no, he bought Bijan.
Oh, received. Okay. Yeah, I think especially like the recently part, like if that happened last week and like with uncertainty around Hampton, I don't mind doing that in like how many starters would the league have to be for you to not like the Bijan side?
Like, I think it needs to be around like 12 teams, start 11 or so, like 11 or 12 when I'm like, man, who's going to be in my flex spot or something. That's when like a Marv, I'm like, okay, cool. Like I'm okay with having those guys. But I mean, this is one of those like a good consolidation move. Hampton, I love Hampton. You know my spiel about Hampton. But I mean, Bijan's just a guaranteed known asset, elite. Weird stuff with Tyler Algier, just like that's frustrating. It's like just it's like being a Mark Andrews fan and Charlie Kohler catches the ball and you're like, come on, man. Like it's frustrating, but there's no doubt what Bijan is. And honestly, one thing that is underrated about Bijan is he's always available. He's always been pretty healthy so far. So I do like Hampton. Marvin Harrison Jr. is kind of like he's still overvalued as a wide receiver, what he's actually producing on the field, because people want to believe in him. So I like this move. I think you're getting one of the best players in the. I mean, if you pull up Dynasty Daddy ranks, I think Bijan's RB2 behind Gibbs at this point. So he's still RB1. So like you're locking in like one of the top guys. So I feel good about that. Consolidating, you can always break Bijan apart for a Hampton plus, Marvin Harrison Jr. caliber player if you want.
Yeah. I don't want to be the pro Marv guy. I really don't. But I think
There we
the only way this could like really
Travis
feel
Hunter,
like
Marv.
it's more. I mean, Marv has a fucking appendicitis right now, so with no update. So I'm not gonna.
That was a freak. That was that. I know. I was like, right when you started doing good, you had a borderline breakout game that no one could watch.
It's Jacoby time, Marv.
And then you have appendicitis.
It's crazy. Which, dude, I mean, that's legit. But no, the only thing, 10 and 12 targets past 2 weeks in those Jacoby games, they're just like, you could say what you will about Marv, like would not surprise me at all if tail end of the season, if they're letting Jacoby sling this thing 40 times a game, Marv is like back end wide receiver 1 production, and you're like, damn, like that's basically, free Marv if Hampton comes back and is healthy. But I mean, Bijan is just one of those, like, by any means.
Yeah, I mean,
you can always tear down if you need to, like for whatever, James Cook plus a receiver if you need to.
Yeah, I mean, if this deal was like a James Cook deal or something for like even A-Chain or someone like that, I'd be like, I don't know, you're losing a lot of value there. But I mean, you're literally getting like 1A, 1B Gibbs, Bijan. Like that's going to be the running back situation probably for the next 3 years in Dynasty. It's going to be Bijan and Gibbs every year. And the fact that you got Bijan is like, okay, cool. Like I can't complain. Like it's like being like, oh man, you traded this package for JSN. It's like, well, like you got JSN. Like it's hard to, even if you lost a little bit of value or something, it's like you got the best player in the league. So that's going to be worth a haul if you ever decide to change strategies or go in a different direction.
Mm-hmm. And then this right here, I love Bijan, but as the Cousins run offense, a little scary for the playoff run. I get that. I think you could probably say a similar thing. Oh, talk about spooky offensive situation. Genty is the other running back. But no, I think like Hampton, you could say similar things to like how the offensive line is looking and like the inconsistent Vidal games. And, maybe that's a closer split than what we had post Najee injury with Hampton, just based off of some of these games and the Harbaugh coach speak about him. But yeah.
Well, yeah, they might also work him in slower, not give him the full workload out of the gate. I mean, I think I don't have the statistics off the top of my head. Obviously, bad QB play does translate to impact on the running back, but I think it's more of an impact on the wide receivers. Because they can't get the ball to them. It honestly could help Bijan in some ways if Kirk Cousins leans more on checkdowns and things like that. So I'm not too concerned. Maybe 2 weeks in I might be concerned, but then again, worst case happens is Bijan sucks in the playoffs. Next year starts and I have Dynasty RB2 or RB1.
Right. Yeah.
And I can figure that out. Like it's a lot easier than dealing with other situations.
Especially if it's a shallow enough league. Like, I don't know if we ever, 12 by 10. Yeah, if that's the same league, the 12 by 10 that you had the first question for, I think that's not too deep that I hate doing the 2 good assets for one. All right. Got a live stream ask here. Shout out to Will Bell. Had the lowest score over the median for 5 out of 6 weeks, so may accidentally make the playoffs. Whoopsie daisy. In the offseason, would you suggest trying to rebuild, down tier from Lamar, sell AJ Brown and Godwin, or hold steady and try to compete? I mean, this is
Will, I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
I see this is a new user in Discord. Just joined our Discord, by the way. Link in the comments below. Did you make a burner Discord account so you could post your own roster and talk about your own fantasy team on the Dynasty Daddy Trade Show?
All right, hit the intro. That hopefully that was funny to any of the viewers watching at home. No, that is a good idea though, and I should do that.
Yes, when you want to talk Tyler and Tracy deals, I'll be like, wait a minute, this is my roster.
Yeah, jeez, that. I'm so happy that I decided to send a trade offer.
I didn't know if
AJ.
I like pissed you off or something because I did my little bit and you just sat there.
I didn't realize that
silently for like 10 seconds. I was like, uh-oh.
I was gonna say something and then I remembered that they could hear it in the background, so I had to fully commit to the bit. And if there's something I'll do, it's fully commit to a bet. All right. No, but this is interesting. The might actually make the playoffs. You got Lamar coming back. You got Lamar T-Law. The running back room is rough. Ken Walker, Sean Tucker, Algier, which, throw those guys in there. London,
Joe Mixon,
AJ Brown, you got Travis Hunter, Jordan Addison. I mean, this is the kind of team that we would probably be looking at and being like, yeah, we need to look ourselves in the mirror. Is this team going to make the playoffs type of thing? Which, like,
okay,
you have another teams first, you know?
here's the forever optimist to me. You got Drake London, still has the elite price tag, might be a little bit injured. You can move him. I got 2 first-round picks.
Sure.
We balling. My credit card is paid off. That means I can spend it all. And Lamar Jackson is just coming back. So, like, do with it what it may. But I can also move Lamar Jackson if I really want to get a quarterback.
We got we got Bucky on a 2-22 team. We got James Cook on a 7-17 team. Kittle, bro, you got Kittle and James Cook on a 7-17 team. Is there a world? I'm just asking where we can turn Kraft. I don't know if I want to turn Kraft and London into Kittle. I would probably be trying to get another plus. Kraft, London. I mean, Kraft, London, Kittle, Cook is not terrible, but I would
10-14 team with Devon A-Chain. So many bad teams with Devon A-Chain. So weird.
That's crazy. I am very grateful that the night trajectory has turned into me sending 2 first plus for A-Chan than trying to get you to give me Tyron Tracy for cheap. Although I'll still accept that.
No, I'm sending you a Tyron Tracy deal.
Okay, so the trade deadline has
only
passed.
1 first round pick.
Just thinking for next year.
Thinking for next year.
So we'll focus. We'll shift frames here. In the offseason, would you suggest trying to rebuild, downturning from Lamar, selling older receivers like AJ Brown and Godwin, or hold steady and try to get beat? I think the deals that we kind of talked about. I mean, do you have 2 first and 26? Like, I would not. I mean, one of these is going to be late. This CV Braid team is 18-6.
How many teams is there?
It's 12 team.
12
by 9. Don't be afraid to use these firsts to improve your lineup for next year. It is always fun to be like, I want to be the rebuilder and like, yay, we're rebuilding. And like my Dynasty Daddy score looks really good. But I think this team is close enough having London, Lamar, Ken Walker. Kraft next year is going to be a little tough, but I think there's like a foundation of like a decent competing team where you can use those firsts the way we were talking about.
I would probably, right now. Like, I have my 2 first round picks. My strategy would be, let me shop one around and just see what's out there. Like, especially closer to the draft. Like, does anyone really want to get into the draft and is willing to give me an old Josh Jacobs? He can't do it again. Like, you can get those vets for cheap. Be like, cool, let me lock up a vet I feel good about. And then I can take that other first round pick and just invest it in a position that matters on my team, which realistically is probably going to be a running back or wide receiver on this team. Like, can I take there's going to be decent guys in that range. So I don't even know what we're going to be looking at that time. But I'll shout out my guy, NC State, Hollywood Smothers. Cool football name to the other commenter. But I just like, I don't know what the drafts will look like by then, but I'm sure there's going to be one guy that like falls within the range and you're like, let me take a bet on this youth. Because the last thing you do want to do is just sell everything away and then be like, crap, like I sold my first round pick for next year's Alvin Kamara type player. That's all right, but underwhelming. And now I, could have just geared up with some sort of upside. Because even the guys like Caleb Johnson's going to get another shot, whether you want to believe it or not. He's going to show up on the field sometime and get another chance to be a running back somewhere, whether it's in Pittsburgh or elsewhere. He's going to get a shot to be a running back. And I just want to make sure I constantly am investing youth into a roster so I can hit on some of those guys and maybe hit on the Igbuka or half of Igbuka. But even half of Igbuka is an amazing young player to add to your roster. I would be selling Travis Hunter. I just don't think he's going to be fantasy relevant in most leagues.
All right,
I'm going to
move on from that to call out that he has
Hunter,
3 firsts, 3 firsts in 27, 2 firsts in 26. I would not listen to me. I would not be down tiering off of Lamar into 12x9 when I have 2 firsts in the next year and 3 firsts in the following year.
Yeah, don't trade Lamar.
I think down tiering from these like Drake London, Lamar Jackson that you have in your team, like these kind of assets that are like first, second round startup picks, I'm only down tiering in 12x9s when it's like, holy shit, what did I do? Like this team is terrible. Like I can't even put together a starting lineup with the picks I have. And you have 2 firsts, your own second, 3 firsts, your own second, additional thirds. Like you have the pieces to build out a running back room for next year, to buy the insert James Conner, insert Joe Mixon, like these, to plug in as your RB2. I mean, you got Joe Mixon right there, but I just would not.
Well, you also have all these seconds and thirds, and like those guys don't matter until you need them. You
know? Don't look at this as like your starting roster, especially if you're focused on next year. Like this plus this is your starting roster. You just got to be really active come rookie draft time and be willing to move off of first if you want to. You got 3 and 27.
You have 5 first-round picks in the next 2 years, and you are currently sitting at 3rd in your league in record. Like, cool. Like, you make the playoffs and you buster out. Well, everyone busters out sometime in life. Their life lesson right there. But you have 5 first-round picks. So you're literally just going to be like, yeah, maybe I sell one for a Josh Jacobs or a Saquon Barkley plus something in the offseason. And then I draft a random player. And then next year, guess what I do? I do the same thing. I shop one around, see if anyone wants to slightly overpay with some vets. And I load up some talent there. And then I just take 2 more shots on a draft class that everyone's super excited about. And then I have Lamar Jackson, Drake London, and a million young players. And if half of them hit, I can piece together the rest with seconds and thirds and by production. And I'm going to be sitting there and being like at the top of the league, being relevant for the next 3 years after that. I mean, this is one of the best places you can be. This is one of those teams that's just like, it's early. It's early, it's like the Detroit Pistons, right? You're like, oh man, like didn't expect we were here. Didn't expect to be at the top.
Come on.
But we are here. And now you're trying to say, hey, do we make the big swing, go for a marketing, or do we just kind of sit on our hands and say, let's just play it out, see what our weaknesses are, and then attack that going forward in the following years. I honestly think my low-key take is I think like fantasy football, especially Dynasty, is closer to the NBA in terms of general managing strategy, right? Like you want the superstars, like it's all about getting your superstars and then building around them versus like NFL is like much more like scheme and like, you have to hit all your picks and finding value in later rounds. Like that doesn't matter as much in Dynasty. Yeah. It's like, let me get my studs and then build around them and know when to actually build around them.
NBA.
There's my soapbox.
Hey, I mean, if anyone's dropping, shouting out the Pistons going crazy this year, that's an NBA savant. No, I agree, man. You're OKC right here, man. You got your SGA, you got all these picks. Yeah, especially in a 12x9. Like, don't be afraid. I don't want to get too crazy and be talking about like using firsts, crazy aggressive to build out the 6 contending team. But I just would not be too afraid when you have 5 in a 12x9 to turn that into the best roster you can make.
Yeah, and I think it's just a balance, right? Like it's a shopping picks around, seeing if you can get elite value for a first round pick. Awesome. Then I don't have to take the pick. But I do want to take some of these picks. I do want to have the shot at hitting on Ibuka, on a Tet, on a Tyler Warren. Like I want to be able to hit on those guys. Because if I hit on one guy that becomes a 2.5 first round pick plus value, and I already have Lamar Jackson and Drake London, like it starts snowballing to where then I can sell all my future picks and go all in if I really wanted to, because my team is just so well rounded.
All right, I've got one more live stream ask. My throat's getting pretty dry and I have to pee, Which one do you think I should take care of first? Don't say both.
Wait, which? I only see one.
Let me Hempen Hillbilly.
Yeah,
Yeah, did I say two?
yeah.
Just one.
Because we did Will. We did Will. I did the super funny bit
You guys took care of mine.
that we all loved, and then you sat there for 12 seconds, and I thought I was muted.
It was good. Rewatch it after. I would check it out. All right.
Okay.
I love Hempen Hillbilly.
Yeah, you said you played the intro, right?
Yeah, it was good. All right. I love Hempen Hillbilly. We got the Google
Hempen
Chrome.
Hillbilly.
We got the Google Chrome screenshot.
This
I
is
think this might
the
work
Android.
better. All right, I have an idea. Trust me. All right, Jeremy. What are you adding on your contending team? What would you add onto Justin Jefferson to get JSN right now from another contender? And while I get this set up.
I mean, I'd probably say like, I don't want to say like a late first, but like I feel like that's really what it would have to be. Because if I'm on
you're probably
like
right.
if I'm sitting here and Jason is just blazing, and I'm like, I want to deal with 9, and his cheesy cringe ass throwing the ball to JJ, like, come on, like Jason is younger, he is dominating. But to me, I'm like, if I had JJ, I wouldn't be like, I'm going to sell JJ in a first. Like, I'd probably be like a second, maybe a little random piece. But if I was the JSN owner, I'm not like, yeah, let me go from 20 something points a game to 9. Like, no, I'm not doing that. So I think you would, if you really want to get that deal done, you have to add it first.
Damn. Well said. Well, Matt, let me pull up. Got the question here. Use a straw will be okay. Can't believe I don't know why I read that out loud. I'm gonna click that just so you guys know it wasn't me.
Well, we're gonna put some Gatorade bottles under your desk so we can do the 24-hour stream.
Oh, dude, I'm never peeing in a cup again. I had one bad peeing in a cup moment, and I've vowed away. It was a funny bit with the intro, I gotta say. Thank you. I appreciate that. That means more to me.
It does. She's the tastemaker.
All right, this team gearing up for the run. I'm not going to deal 27 picks. One offer. Brissett and Myers. So this is acquiring Jacoby Myers and Brissett for a second, a third, and fourth. Or you could get Javonte, Swift, and Reed for all my 26 picks.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's just your second, 2/3, and a fourth.
Yeah, I was like, okay, so that's the first, the second. Yeah, I mean, give me the latter half for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I do get wanting to start Brissett over Trevor Lawrence, but I think I would just eat the however sad it makes me to start Trevor Lawrence.
I mean, Javonte is but like, okay. Well, here's the little ping pong game that you can play mentally, right? This is like, oh, this opens up new doors because I add Javonte and Swift. Now maybe I can take ETN, or if I want to get crazy and take Ashton Jeanty and be like, can I get a quarterback for him? Like if you're really concerned about your quarterback, there's options to take a Swift, Javonte, like take one of your running backs and go get a quarterback. And frankly, like if you really want a good one, like moving Jeanty and having Swift and Javonte and ETN all together, like I don't think that's a bad strategy because Jeanty's going to probably score worse than them. And if you're trying to make an actual win now move, you can get the biggest win now type quarterback with Jeanty. But
and
I'd like that move for sure.
It's a 12 by 10, and it looks like you can start only 3 receivers. So I feel less of a need to like do that Brissett Myers one for the second and the third, because like I probably don't want to start Myers over Rice, Pickens, or Pittman. And it's like, okay, am I starting him over these running backs? So I would rather just do the picks for Javonte, Swift, and Reed. Let's go. Heck yeah. I'm gonna go easy peasy on that one. And then we're gonna hit Jonathan. Jonathan, this is the outro. You're the outro. I'm getting ready to pee you as I answer this. If my competing window is open next year, do you think Adams keeps producing next year, or should I really try to trade him away before the season ends? I I think it's going to be a similar type of situation next year for Adams. Like his production is not necessarily like something I think is a huge, like the additional year of age is going to stop him from having good receiver footwork and being one of the best end zone fade receivers in the league.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you look at the Rams, they have a young offense. They have a MVP quarterback that's older, and they're going to have an amazing offense that Devontae Adams did incredible in. So I think there's going to be motivation on all sides if everything keeps going smoothly to say, let's just run it back again. Like, why? Like, who doesn't want to be in LA, play for one of the best teams in the NFL, play with an amazing quarterback, an amazing offensive coordinator? You're older, but you're still able to compete. And they also have the money because a lot of their defense is on cheap deals and young. Like, to me, like, this is one where we say, hey, this worked out even better than we thought. Let's bring you back in for another, decent deal and run it back, because why wouldn't you?
Yeah, I think
it'll be relevant next year.
I think the only way I would look to like trade Devontae is that deal we looked at earlier, where it was a team that was already not going to be a contender, and it was Sharps and Adams for a first. Like that kind of deal is like, okay, I would trade him away in that kind of team for that kind of return. But yeah, we'll hold unless you over. I appreciate the last thing. Yeah, of course, no problem at all. Yeah, I mean, like anytime you're looking at like a first round pick in a league where, like, whatever, it's a 12 by 10, I'm getting a first for Devontae and I'm not going to be competing this year, and it's like I could probably find a way to compete next year, but the first gives me way more flexibility for how I'm going to construct the rest of the roster. Yeah, I would do that. But yeah, if it's a contending window thing and you're getting like a second for Adams, it's like, what's going to impact my roster more? Devontae Adams, touchdown spike weeks, or a second round pick in a 12 by 10.
Yeah.
All right. GG's. Thank you guys for watching every Tuesday night. Stream would be not what it is without you. Have a good Thanksgiving.
It'd be 2 hours of Tyron Tracy deals without y'all.
I would have gotten the deal done. Unfortunately, I would have gotten the deal done. So thank you guys for saving me from that. But dude, I'm pumped, man. I said at the beginning of the stream, I want to say it again just to get excited. We are 2 days away from Thursday, Turkey Day, and a good slate, man. 3 good games. Lions, Packers. Come on. The return of Joe Burrow against the Ravens. Come on. Dallas, Chiefs. And then the Black Friday game's even good. We got, what is that? That's Eagles, Bears. Let's go. Come on.
Yeah, I think so.
Good week. Happy Thanksgiving.
Bears might get the 1 seed. We're in a weird world.
Nah, this is going to be the perfect Lions NFC North weekend. Beat the Packers. Watch the Bears.
You got to get out of the in the hunt graphic. It's you're stuck with the Panthers right now.
Go Pack. Oh man, I forgot we got Packers fans in here. I forget. No, I'm excited. It'll be good. We get golf at home in a dome. We're good. Don't worry about barely beating the Giants last week. We got this. All right. Any partying thankful words you want to share with the people?
Well, I will say, I know it's a holiday weekend, so everyone enjoy. Be safe out there. Check out the Fantasy Red Zone. Even though the games are more scattered throughout the week, but whenever you go onto the site, if there's a game live on the sidebar, I'll have a special Red Zone tab you can click. It'll take you right there. Watch all your games, track all the plays, have fun following, everything going on in your fantasy leagues. So definitely check that out. It is also free. It's now released to everyone, so not just the Patreon club members. And have fun. Have fun. Watching football, turkey. I mean, what's better than food and football?
True. Nothing. I think nothing. All right. And guys, I got the house. I'm moving next week. There's a
moving stream.
Will Laura close? Wait, will it be? It'll be after Tuesday. So I will not be. It won't be next week. I know everyone was waiting for that, even though I don't think I told anyone other than you that I was potentially.
I was like, I don't know if that was a public Dynasty Daddy lore.
There we go. Appreciate you all. Peace out. Have a good night. Everyone go pee, go drink water. Have fun with your loved ones. Peace.